Yulwei, you're still muted, my friend.
Do you know what time it is today? Today's the beginning of the end. We have crested the halfway mark of the VCS. The weeks have flown by outrageously quickly. Let's take a brief moment to take stock of the events that have transpired so far. On our initial day, while we casters were still just glowing with happiness from just being able to cast again, DivKit and Slater did not get the memo. Lead of Series, 2 Pentacles, and rage-inducing drafts from Surge, of course. We very quickly got the reality check. This is VCS. A new GAM entered the fray shortly thereafter, and they still dominated easily. Did they remove the duct tape from the ominous bot lane that, unbeknown to them, is featuring a lot of champions as well? Well, yes, but only to accelerate the solo laners. Did I forget to talk about FTB? Still on 0 wins. Cerberus, DBL, and EVOS showed some fiercely fought-out games against each other in which everyone took turns winning. Sadly, Big Koro and crew extend this tendency into the matches against worse teams, as well as forgetting to declare their turn to win. Consequently, DBL is now sitting on merely 2 wins after 7 games. Zero's comeback couldn't have come at any better time for them. What is that? Zero's not coming back to DBL? Well, the dumpster it is then. Checking with FTB, they are still hot garbage. Meanwhile, Cerberus quietly collected all the wins DBL was unable to pick up and finds themselves in a very unfamiliar position, 2nd place. It seems like a former EVOS coach knew what he was talking about, while I gained some weight from the sheer number of my own words I had to eat. VJ lost their jungler and was even worse than FTV suddenly? Yeah, sounds like a normal day in the VCS. Now let me close out this way too long monologue with Team Flash. They can win against almost anyone, even GAM apparently, and lose to almost anyone as well. Great. Also, Yoshino, please step up your game. We still love you though. The second half of our beautiful roller coaster ride starts right now. Fasten your seatbelts, because we will not run out of steam for the next month. Thanks for tuning in. I am Yulwei, and with me, as always, every day.
What a start to the second leg, you absolute hero. So yeah, that is the breakdown on the first half of the VCS split. Yulwei ran that one through. Make sure someone clips that because the man needs it. He needs it for his casting reel. He'll get into the LEC
it's so hot now. Getting out of this.
Wonderful. That was absolutely amazing. But yeah, so obviously it is the second leg starting and it's exciting. I think there are still quite a few things in flux. Some teams had a massive upsurge towards the end of that first split. Some teams had a massive downsurge, as you very eloquently put it. And we're going to have to see how they can carry those things on. And one of the teams that's starting off tonight really needs to hit an upsurge. That's EVOS.
Yeah.
Well, it's Flash as well, but EVOS is what I was meaning.
That said, EVOS has actually gotten away with a lot of wins they shouldn't have gotten away with. They are sitting on 4-3 and on a 9-9 game score, which means 50% win rate should not give you more than 50% serious score most of the time, but they've gotten away with it. Also, 9 wins and 9 J4 games for Son. Of course, not all the 9 wins have come on J4, but he's the most pivotal champ for this team, of course.
Absolutely. And then on the other side, it's Flash, and you did mention that Yoshino needs to step his game up. He is the patron saint of this stream. I know the Discord messes around with Hani, but he's a false prophet. Yoshino is the one true savior, according to us. So we do want him to play up to that standard. We've got very high hopes for him. But the top lane, it's going to be very difficult in the back half of this split for anyone to play top lane with the return of the big man.
Yeah,
Zeros.
The big man Zeros. We'll see him on the second series today, hopefully. Maybe not. We don't quite know. He's eligible to play from today onwards. I don't know if GAM wants to play him immediately. We'll have to wait for that. But yeah, Flash lost to Secret, and it wasn't even close. They got stomped. So
I just realized I forgot to download a file that I needed, so I'm just going to flash this over to another screen. But do continue talking. Don't worry, everyone. We're not going anywhere.
Flash and EVOS basically both on the downward trajectory towards the end of the first round, I should say. So both need to step up their game. They've both not really found their footing yet on the new patch, especially EVOS. I was very disappointed with EVOS picks so far. They are sticking to the ganking junglers. I would really like to see a change there. Like to see a little bit of a mix-up in terms of jungle pool. Because right now, Sorn is actually is one of the junglers with the smallest champion pools in our league. Only played J4, Kindred, Sejuani, and Lee.
Yep.
Almost everyone else has played more champs, so I'd really like to see something different today.
Yeah, I agree with that. But before we go too far into today's series, we do actually have all of the mid-season transfers that have come in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which we can
almost forgot about them.
Flash up. And this is because obviously it opens up in the mid half of the split going into that second round robin. So these are some new additions. FTV has picked up Froggy in the mid lane and Aquino for support. I don't know who either of those two people are. Can be totally honest. Apparently they were just rookies that have been elevated. FTV can't get worse. Sure. Yeah. One thing I'm happy about is Zin.
I like the mid lane. Yeah, it's still good to see the mid lane sub for FTV.
Yep.
Victory has had up and down performances. I'd say he's one of the better performers overall for FTV. Maybe not so much in the last 2 weeks, but when they were still struggling to win a single game, he was the outstanding player, I'd say, which is not hard when everyone else is kind of shit. So, yeah, it's good to see a backup plan for FTV. Maybe they can find a little bit more team cohesion as well. With, how is he called? Froggy? Yeah. Froggy.
Apparently he has a very interesting champion pool. The way he was described was he just plays jungle champions mid. Interesting.
Yeah, Zin in for Adonis. Don't really understand that move, I have to say. I think Vid is one of their best players and their carry. So Zin doesn't really strike me as someone who brings a lot to Adonis. He's better on teams like Gam.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm happy to see Zin at least getting placed somewhere. Because I don't think he deserved to get benched from Gum. I don't think Blazers has been such a massive upgrade that you couldn't have just kept Zin. But regardless, at least he's getting play. But yeah, he's not a carry ADC, which obviously is a bit contradictory with the name, but you know what we mean. So it's going to be a very different fit. Maybe it means they can start flexing drafts a little bit, which would be cool. Buffalo.
Speaking of drafts, we actually need to get a game.
Oh wow, we have a champ select. Oh my word. Screen. We'll have to talk. A bit more about
flash
things.
This graphic.
Yeah, we've got plenty of time, but we are in champ select, as you are dead right. As
nothing has happened so far, so we haven't actually missed too much. We're still in the first ban phase.
Bootleg streaming,
very much.
Welcome. But yep. And immediately some target bans towards Yoshino with that Fiora being removed, the Blitzcrank gone as well, CBL target ban. It looks like EVOS is running with the strategy of not so much banning Team League, tier list. I can't talk. Why did I say Team League 3 times? Tier list. They're banning targets but all of those are not overly strong
target bans, in fact.
Yeah, exactly.
The most played champ for Heejin is the Kiana jungle, tied up with Rek'Sai, interestingly enough. So yeah, 3 not tier list bans. And Syndra will be the first pick for EVOS, which is of course more of a tier list champ, and I like to see this. But of course, Ornn is still available, and Ornn, as we all know, is very, very broken on this patch. So please pick him up.
Yeah, Yoshino, though, will probably go towards this set. That's a very Yoshino move. Don't go towards... quality of the stream. My apologies there. Don't go towards the Ornn. Go towards the Yoshino. The Yoshino, wow. Bad start. The Ornn. We could still go mid lane, though. I'd like to see that. I think Ornn is too strong to ignore. And I'm actually surprised they first picked Syndra.
Yeah. They had an opportunity to instantly win the draft here for Flash. They had the opportunity to get the best red side first rotation possible, which is Ornn Aphelios. Kind of surprised they didn't go for that. Of course.
What do you mean? Have you not seen the previous games? The best red side draft is Kai'Sa Lee Sin.
Oh god.
They won that game.
Get out.
They won.
I know.
But yeah,
20 stacks, Medjais, Sejuani, all also.
you got the right champion. We didn't last night. We kept saying the wrong one.
Shyvana had 20 stacks as well, so it's not wrong per se.
And Hero does pick up his Vladimir as we snap back to reality. That is a very strong champion for him. I'm starting to get a little bit worried that they're pigeonholing him into the champion.
I agree. I heavily agree with this sentiment. I don't like the Vladimir this early on in the draft. I think he's good into set, right? He doesn't really win lane into set, but he also doesn't die, so he gets to freely scale. I'm still not the biggest fan of locking down the full top side in the first round of the draft. I'm not sure what bot lane you have in store that can be valuable enough to have you sit on, not picking the bot lane forever. So, especially with the values already banned out now.
And I feel like the Vladimir pick in particular, like, Ornn is open if you want scaling. Obviously, Vlad is more carry scaling rather than Ornn, who empowers the rest of the team, but I feel like Ornn would have been better. Ornn doesn't die to set either.
Yeah, I think it's very much just the comfort champ for TH, or maybe the comfort champ for the whole team, because he has played Vladimir a lot, 5 games already. They also like to put him on AP champs generally, 5 games on Mordekaiser, 1 game on Akali, so way more than half of the games for EVOs were in top lane AP kind of carry champs. So yeah, now 6 games on the Vladimir after this one. It seems to be a big trend here for EVO. It's a very strong early game top side draft, right? The 2v2 mid lane looks strong on EVO's side. Flash now has to think up a plan of how to survive the early aggression. Could go LeBlanc here for Cardi. It's not really renowned for his LeBlanc, though.
No. He could also go something like Rise, which is a little bit more carty. I think he's
quite risky, though.
It is very risky.
Yeah. 6 times. It's his most played champ.
Yeah, I thought so. Then there's the ban, though. Can't actually
Hit
go
the
it.
mark there. Could go
Cassiopeia.
Still pretty risky.
Yeah, they're all quite risky into the Syndra, unfortunately. She does a lot of damage.
And the 0 seconds is really not a 0 seconds this time.
It's a very long 0 seconds. And Thresh locked in. I think that's a really smart pick there. I actually would have liked to see the Thresh banned. I think Thresh Aphelios... Thresh is the best Aphelios support.
Yep, I agree with that. Very, very strong. Enables the Aphelios, gets rid of his biggest weakness, which is, of course, no mobility. Having no mobility. So, the Caitlyn for Div Kid. This is the second time he's shown us the Caitlyn. I like this a lot. I think
he was pushed down the tier list.
Too early. Yeah. Still 1 patch too early. She's very strong on 10.4. But yeah, it's a very strong bot lane. The classic, we counter all the CC and push you in bot lane, Caitlyn Morgana. So
yeah, I feel like Aphelios Thresh can definitely survive that pressure. Just because it's Aphelios. He'll pretty much always have a way to be okay. They should still lose probably a couple of plates. And will we get the lock-in of the Lucian?
Triple 80 topside. There we go.
About to say, there's something missing, and it's not an AP topside, so not quite what we have an emote for, but you can spam it. Actually, I don't even know if it's on the channel, but you can...
It's the bad drafts now.
Yeah, true. It's the symbol for the bad drafts. Remember, just by the way, while we've got just a moment as we wait for the swaps, if you have a look down there at the bottom of your chat, you'll notice you're accruing channel points, or bad drafts, as the VCS is very good at. And if you have 1,500 of those, so, maybe half a night of the VCS get you about 1,500 bad drafts, you can actually just directly ask us a question. We might not answer them when we're actually in-game, because we're not looking at chat, but when we're doing our little analyst stuff or in champ select and stuff, we can help people out if they've got questions.
Oh, if there's a lull state in game, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
not very probable in this matchup, but
if we see it in chat during the game, we'll try and answer it, but if we're in game, you're a little bit less likely if we're distracted, because typically we try and watch the game, normally.
So yeah, this draft for Flash is a little puzzling. They started off strong with a Aphelios set, and then ended up picking Rek'Sai, Lucian, Thresh. Not the biggest fan of Lucian. I think you really needed to go AP on the mid lane. Now you're very much relying on the early game to snowball, because if you look at the scaling, pure AD into Vladimir.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too great.
The-
Doesn't sound too great.
The one thing though, and it's something we do say somewhat often, is that yeah, it's triple AD, but who's building armor?
Yeah.
Lee
It's
Sin
fair.
doesn't want to build armor. Syndra's obviously not. She'll build like an hourglass, but so yeah.
It's true. There's not the dedicated tank, of course. Vladimir can go a little bit. Vladimir likes go heavy MR. He doesn't actually get access to great armor items. Of course, you go Zhonya's and maybe even armor boots, but that's already something you don't really want to do, as you want to go with CDR or early Magic Pan if
Yeah.
the lane goes very well. So, yeah, I agree. Of course, there's not the big Mountain Drake could actually change this map a lot. If the EVOS gets access to Mountain Drakes, they can just go into one armor item each, and suddenly the enemy team composition is way weaker. So, yeah, I'd like to see early bot lane focus for Flash to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the thing is, though, it's a little bit tricky for them to go for the early. That's a very cool little production flare there, VCS.
Yeah.
Wow, that was cool. I like how it panned up. I didn't know that there was like the big red sun on the rift.
I had no idea.
No idea.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. But yeah, you say, and I agree with you, that Flash does need to play around that bot side in order to get drag control, just in case though there is not going to be a Mountain Soul, as it is our first Drake. So, I mean, it still helps, so I think Flash would still be very wise to try and take that first Drake just to mitigate some of the issues they have with their damage profile. But it's not easy for them to play around bot side, because it's a Caitlyn Morgana.
Yeah.
Oh, and Vietnamese production, you were off to such a cracker start, guys. Doing so well, and then you hit us with the pause. Oh well.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, it's an in-game pause at least, so not before the game starts. Shouldn't be too long to resolve. So usually the long pauses happen in draft or even before draft. So I'm still confident we get into the second half of the split with not much of a delay.
Yeah,
so
hopefully.
EVOS has got away with Vladimir, Lee Sin, Syndra, Caitlyn, Morgana. What are they trying to do with this composition? They have a lot of mid-game power. They have the scaling aspect in Caitlyn and Vladimir, of course. Syndra not bad in the late game either. A lot of, as LS would say, a lot of blue elements in her kit, a lot of control. That means can shape the team fights in different ways. Damage-wise, not the strongest champ in the late game, as she struggles a little bit with not having an AoE ultimate, of course. But if you can burst down the enemy ADC, or one of the two ADCs is there too in the enemy team, of course, then suddenly Syndra is very strong. So I prefer EVOS's draft, I have to say, even though the enemy team has Set and Aphelios, two very strong tier list champs.
Yeah, it's Flash's draft. Ticks a lot of boxes tier list wise.
Yeah.
But I don't know how well it all works together.
Yeah, altogether it's weird.
Yeah, it's very strange. I don't think it's bad, and we may well see like Yoshino on set could just win. He is going to struggle to get off to a super good start against Vladimir, but he is still incredible on the champion. So who knows what'll happen there? And of course, Aphelios. It's an Aphelios.
It's Aphelios.
We saw,
especially on this patch still. So we've seen LEC and LCS yesterday play on 10.4 already, and Aphelios is still super strong on 10.4, but got nerfed. He's even stronger here. So if you watched some LEC or LCS games yesterday, Aphelios is even stronger.
We're back. All good. And it looks like all we missed was Hero taking a very bad trade against Yoshino. Probably shouldn't try and trade with Set at level 1 as Vlad. But regardless, he'll heal that up fairly quickly.
Vlad is one of the weakest champs in level 1 in the game. He's so incredibly useless.
He doesn't do anything, yeah.
No.
He probably...
Oh, come on, guys, come on.
Oof. This isn't great. Must be something wrong. Hopefully we get it sorted out soon enough. As I do want to see this game get going. We don't want to start off our second leg. Speaking of the second leg, because I know we've got our producer Pengaro in chat. If you could clip Yulwei's speech and send it to me, I want to make something with it.
Oh, no, I'm scared.
No, it's good. It's good. Don't worry. It's a good thing. Because it's a good speech.
I
have
need
plans.
to rewatch it as well with the music because I couldn't hear the
Very funny.
music, of
It was
course.
very funny. But yep, hopefully we get back in soon-ish. Now, should EVOS get the win today, do we need to start discussing a world where Flash doesn't make playoffs?
Yeah, apparently we do. Cerberus right now looks like the stronger team than Flash. We have DBL has kind of fallen out of the playoff race, so we have Flash. Okay, Gum is almost secured, right? On 6-1, they need 2 more wins to
Gum's
secure
not getting
playoffs, or
anywhere.
3 more, and they'll get those. They have VGA and FTV still on the menu. DBL is a free win as well for them. So yeah, Gum is out of the question. Flash will play. They lost the first game against EVOS. That was the very first series. I alluded to that in my little speech. Double pentacle, of course. Slater and Divkit getting pentacles on Zaya in our very first series of the whole split. So this is the first rematch of the split, and EVOS has the head-to-head. So if EVOS gets a 2-0 head-to-head, they are already in a very good position compared to Flash. And then EVOS will also overtake Flash right now in the current situation because EVOS is sitting at 4-3 and Flash at 5-2. So this is a very important game, as I said, and Flash should definitely look to secure the series.
Yeah, exactly. This is super important. I think EVOS as well really needs this. They lost to Cerberus, which I kind of took as, all right, with that Cerberus loss, I think they're sort of out of the hunt, or they're at least very disadvantaged in the hunt. They are back in game, but I will continue to make the point. But if they could get a win on Flash, I think maybe we end up in a world where Flash has kind of been on a free fall for too long, and suddenly they end up in 5th, and Cerberus and EVOS both make playoffs.
Yep.
The Secret looks good.
Right now, Secret looks very strong. Cerberus also surprised me with some very strong performances. Their game score is also way better than EVOS's, even though they are on a similar record. I think they're both 4-3. But yeah, Cerberus has 3 more game victories, so yeah, looking way better in terms of single games. As I said before, EVOS is at 50% only.
Yeah.
So.
Weird when you think about it, but
yep.
they have managed
Flash
to get away
is
with it.
+4 right now, 11-7. Way better on red side, so this should be a good start for Flash. They have a very high win rate on the red side, as we still experience some early issues.
It must be something in game, and they're having to unpause to kind of test it.
Yeah, seems like it.
But hopefully it gets resolved soon enough.
So yeah, jungle start, nothing interesting happened there. Both junglers just trading sides, no vertical jungling, so no one knows where the enemy jungle is. Seems to be something up with Yoshino.
Seems that way. That is where the refs appear to be.
So we have a little bit of time to award points for hairstyles. What do you think of Sawn's color?
Wait, has Sawn got it dyed? I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's kind of light blue.
I personally
I like this one a lot.
I
think
dyed hair.
It's very cool.
I like dyed hair quite a lot. Yeah. I've been meaning to get mine dyed. But the problem with my hair is it's so dark that you got to bleach it first.
Yeah, I think that's the same problem Vietnamese.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah, it makes sense. And yeah, that's time consuming.
I've actually never dyed my hair my whole life.
I have. I had I don't know if I've told you this story. I went to a very strict high school, and the rule was, not allowed to have your hair touching your collar. That's how short it had to be for boys.
Yeah, there's some, by the way.
Well, I like that.
Silver.
The silver.
Kind of silver.
Silver fox, I like it. But silver. When I graduated, you graduated and then you did your final exams. You weren't technically a student anymore. So you weren't bound. We weren't bound by their rules. So I grew my hair and beard out and dyed it all bubblegum pink. Yeah, and I dyed it all bubblegum pink. And my head of upper school was very upset with it.
It's such a great move. Such an everyday move as well. Nice. So I told this before as well. I guess we have to fill in a little bit of time. But in Japan, a lot of people are not allowed to dye their hair in school generally. So the same as with your situation. So a lot of people start dyeing their hair when they get to university.
Right.
Now it's very hard for Japanese people to dye their hair. Probably as hard as for Vietnamese people.
They have dark hair.
Yeah, the very dark hair and very A lot of hair as well. Oh, we
we're
get back
back
into
in.
game, so maybe next time.
All right, just put it in the bank. We'll touch me. We'll
Yep.
have things to fill. I'm curious where that story goes.
Yeah.
And...
We're bully tangent here.
Exactly. You got to stay tuned in, guys. You can't just like jump in and out. As Yoshino does get the face breaker for a very nice trade here, but Hero managing to dodge the true damage at least. But still, Yoshino in pretty firm control of the top side. And oh no! All right, two, please resume.
Yeah, seems like there's still some issues as TH is struggling to keep up on the top lane matchup. Early levels will be hard for the Vladimir. Let's go back to my more interesting story.
Go right ahead.
There's pretty much only one color that everyone goes for. So, funnily enough, even though the first time in their life they are allowed to dye their hair in uni, then suddenly everyone has the same hair color again.
Which color?
Dyes their hair. It's a brown. It's a little bit red brownish.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not very adventurous.
Yeah, I think it's the only thing you can do without bleaching your hair. With dark hair. Pretty much the only thing. So a lot of people don't like to bleach their hair, of course, because that's a lot of commitment.
And, yeah, it also ruins your hair. It's really bad for your hair.
It's very funny because they do to be more feel themselves more like individuals, or
a bit more individuality.
Everyone still has the same hair color. It's
that's funny. It's not quite the same here because like I went to a private school, but most public schools won't really care if you dye your hair as long as it's not like super over the top. I'll just say whatever.
Are they allowed to care about that?
Yeah, they said like in Australia, every school has a uniform. It's very strange in Australia for to not have a uniform in Australia. So yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, they're absolutely allowed to have rules. Like most schools will say your hair needs to be neat. They'll just have different standards of what neat is.
Yeah.
Now back to the casters, which is not the best sign.
No, sadly not.
We'll go back to our owner.
I'm not sure about your predictions, but I predicted 6 game date. So we might be.
I think I did too. So, oh boy.
When does Carter start today?
3 a.m. So if we're not done by then, we're in some deep trouble.
Yeah, we should be done.
I really want to watch.
That's a great final.
Yeah.
Great final.
But we won't talk about that because I'm sure most of our viewers really don't care. Then again, we don't have much to talk about for the game, do we? Nothing's happened.
So I just want to touch on the top lane matchup again.
Go ahead.
I had the pleasure of listening to Finn yesterday on LEC Cast, who had to cast the first 10 minutes between Vladimir and the set as well. So he explained some of the intricacies of the matchup. And he said the Vladimir has to dodge the Haymaker after utilizing his face rush, if I remember correctly. So it's a little bit of a game of chicken between the two champs. So whoever uses their ability or their, especially for the Vladimir, also the rune activation first, loses the matchup. So Vladimir pretty much has to wait for the trade to happen and then rely on his face rush to get out of the Haymaker to dodge the big damage. We've seen him fail to do that multiple times now in the top lane, and consequently, TH is sitting on like 200 HP. You lose a lot of lose a lot of health to set in the early game.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, according to production in our ear, it's definitely not Twitch chat, it's production. Kiaya is starting for Gum in game 1 at least.
Yeah, not too surprising in my opinion.
Good.
I like it as well, yeah. I mean, the Zeros should still have some synergy, of course, with Levi, but I like the current Gum lineup. I think they've played some very strong games, so yeah, good to see. Kiaya also our best top laner right now.
Yeah, it feels bad that he might have to miss some games just because Zeros is back.
I prefer TH's here to Swan's hair. That's a cooler color.
Yeah, I like the kind of straw blonde.
Oh, that's Parker though.
Oh, is that Parker? I like that hair as well.
Yeah.
I'm bad at
Very-
recognizing players. I'm horrible. In like every league.
Yeah, Yoshino really doesn't like hair. He does not.
To answer the question, chat, who's winning? Don't know. The game's in about 3 minutes, and there's been 4 pauses.
Yeah, 4 minutes 10 seconds, I think, was the
Yeah.
last time we saw.
Yeah, no
Sadly,
one's winning.
There's not a lot. We can talk about no first blood, no early die. Yeah, that's 0, by the way.
Yeah, I like that hair.
Very shiny hair.
I miss my hair from last split. We didn't do face cams last split, so
that's true.
no one saw
I
me.
like your current style. Very cool.
It does look better, but I like being dirtbag leftist. But I mean, while we have a pause, we can go back to what we were talking about.
Having fun on stream.
We can go back and have a chat about the transfers that are coming in.
Yeah, of course. So yes, we have talked about Zeros a little bit. We have no idea about the most of the players, of course. Who is Jish and Dinka? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think they were just rookies that were already playing for them. And they're just kind of promoting them as subs now. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make.
So I think the most impactful transfer might actually be Hin for Dashing Buffalo.
Potentially.
Yeah, because they have struggled to really find their footing on the bot lane with High coming in. Of course, replacing Palat is not an easy feat. So yeah, we've seen Hin succeed here and there. So they actually have picked up 2 supports, I can see now. So 2 potential replacements for High, which means a lot of competition in the support role. Not the worst. I'd like to see them pick up a jungler as well. I'm quite surprised they didn't go for a different jungler, because Meliodas is struggling.
Yeah, Meliodas is really not impressing whatsoever. So I'm a little bit disappointed they didn't try and pick someone else there. We talked about Xin coming in a little bit before. It's just not a very good fit, in my opinion. I don't think he does what VGA need. Maybe they can change their playstyle. That's a lot, though. I don't think they have enough time to do that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the most high-profile one is Zeros being back. To explain for people that might not know, the story is basically he said goodbye to Tinnikin and the boys at the end of last split, said, I'm going to go to greener pastures in the LPL. They're all very sad, and then truly it was such a sad event that God looked down and said, well, I can't let this happen. Let's infect all of China with a disease. And now he couldn't travel. He can't go into China at the moment for pretty obvious reasons. So because he can't actually get into China and play, he's coming back to GAM essentially to keep his level. Because if you don't play at a professional level for 6 months, you're going to be pretty rusty.
Yeah, the long-term plan still seems to be for him to go to China, right?
Yes.
So
that's as from everything I know. As soon as
really coming back,
as soon as China opens back up, he will go again.
The rumor was V5, right? The team
V5, yeah.
They picked up. Yeah, V5.
That's the rumor, but there's nothing confirmed.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't think he was officially signed, which makes sense because I don't think you'd officially sign someone before they had a visa. He never actually got a visa.
Yeah, and the 1 week we saw LPL play, he didn't show up. So, yeah, he is now a gun player again. We have no idea where the future leads for him. Maybe he goes to China. Maybe he decides to stay in Vietnam. Who knows?
He could go somewhere else.
Might be a rough split for him, actually. If they keep Kiai on the top lane, because they say, okay, you haven't played for 6 months, and Kiai is performing great. Why would we sub in Zeros again?
And I mean, I think there's also the argument that even if they acknowledge that Zeros is better, if you're going to go back to China, why are we growing your talent for our team?
Yep.
Like, obviously Zeros, I'm sure he's a much beloved son of the team and the son of the scene, but Kiai is going to be there next year. So
next split, even.
Next split.
Next split.
I don't know why I said next year. Next split. So I mean,
hopefully the Corona situation is resolved by then. But
you'd hope so.
Yeah. maybe Zeros will stay till the end of the year and then try again for. But if that's the case, he definitely needs to find a starting spot again. I don't think his prospect of getting a team in China or even getting a starting spot, because the team he can probably get on the team, but he wants to start, of course. That prospect is not getting better if he doesn't see play. Wow!
We were back in game
nice.
for moments. And to explain again,
we don't even have lags or anything.
Yeah. I just want to repeat myself, as Peng is doing in chat. Thanks very much, but I'll say it anyway. There's a pause. We don't know what's wrong. There's tech issues. We're about 4 minutes into the game, so no one's won the first match because it's paused. Unfortunately, there's an issue. So yeah, we don't have anything to talk about because it was about 4 minutes into the game, and yeah. Not much to talk about. We've kind of already discussed the drafts. Again, I'll take the opportunity to remind you that if you have a look down at the bottom of your chat, there's points that you're accruing. If you spend $1,500, or 1,500 of them, not dollars, but you can donate $1,500. You could do that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
But you could spend 1,500 points and ask us a question in that we can see directly. Though I have seen a question in chat that isn't highlighted, but do your legs get sore because you standing cast?
Oh, not really. Not really.
Fair enough.
I'm a very fit person.
Fair enough. I mean, I want to start standing casting, but my desk is too low.
Yeah, it's not the ideal situation. I still look down, of course, right? Because I can't up the monitor right now. Should probably look into options for something to put underneath my monitor, so I don't have to look down anymore. But yeah, I still feel way more comfortable standing while casting. I think it's more energetic.
It also it is very literally better because it opens up your wind pipe and all that. So it is better to stand. You should stand when you cast, and I don't because I'm lazy, I'm fat, and my desk is too low. But that's why Yulwei's a better caster.
That is not true. Think back to yesterday. So many great jokes.
Yeah, okay, they were great jokes. Whether it was a great cast or not is a completely different question. Because we went to
say a lot to the cast because I haven't seen it.
We went to another. Me and Vinny went to another solar system yesterday. We were complete space cadets.
On Friday, that last team fight, that was great.
Look, we're not here to sing our own praises.
Yeah, that's true.
That's let's save this for when we get off the cast, where we can,
let's talk a little bit about the whole picture of the league, right? The standings. It's the halfway mark, as I talked about earlier. So GAM is sitting at 6-1, very comfortably in first position. They should easily run away with this lead and go lock in first plate. I'm interested to see if they can repeat what they did in the summer split and go 7-0.
Maybe. I mean, I think only Secret challenges them, and it's a challenge, right now, not Secret seems a favor. Yeah.
So if we had to rank teams right now, I'd say GAM very firmly first place, Secret second. Who would be your third?
Cerberus.
Cerberus. Yeah, I didn't really get to catch a lot of the games on Friday where they stomped. Who was it? Flash, right? Yeah. No, EVOS.
Someone asked a question, not really related to the game, which is what we'd really prefer you use this question for, but I have the flag because I support the cause, which I'm not going to go into at all. Not going into it, that's as far as I'm going. But yeah, that's I'm from Australia, though. By my accent. But yeah, and also, I know there's a bird on me. Why not? We got nothing to do. We got nothing to talk about. Come here, bub. Gonna cooperate? Step up? Oh, no, he's gone. Never mind. That's for Khan. He's a good boy.
Yeah. No, he's too shy, again. Doesn't want to participate in the cast. Fair enough.
I know, he just wants to scream. I went
He's
back.
A very excited bird.
He is.
I
went back and I went back and watched a few of our casts just to get some kind of self-criticize. And one of the things that I've noticed is every time there's a team fight and I'm doing the play-by-play, we have the little in the background, making sure
that it's our trademark.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And
Yeah,
actually,
sometimes he's louder. I'm not sure, but maybe your mic sensibilities goes up and down.
sometimes he
But
sits.
sometimes I
Sometimes he yells from his cage, which for those
yeah,
of
makes
you that
sense.
can see me is over. I've got a point. Yeah, it's over there. Is where his cage is. Sometimes he sits on my shoulder. How did me and Yulwei meet? He was doing. Well, I mean, you're the one to answer this. How did we
Yeah,
meet?
yeah. So, I mean, we haven't met in real life, of
We haven't
course.
actually
We live
met.
very far apart. Okay? If there was an opportunity to make open a casting house in Australia, maybe
Hey.
someday, the dream.
I'm,
But yeah, the story basically is I started to cast the VCS on my own. I think it was like spring split week 8, week 7, maybe a little earlier. Oh, we have a pause now.
we do. But finish this story and then we might go to a break time as well. Go ahead.
So I basically casted all the playoffs and a little bit before the playoffs started, and that was a solo cast. And I realized solo casting for like 5 hours and more is not very enjoyable, neither for the viewers nor for myself. My throat was
Ruined.
very, very bad situations afterwards, especially after the 5-game series. I think it was Friends Forever against, which is now Team Secret. Friends Forever playing against EVOS at the time, if I remember correctly. So after the split, I tried to find a co-caster, and I first found someone from UK, I think, Ninja Wizards. Shout out to you, my man. We wanted to cast together, but then he got other things to do, and I reached out again to find different casters. And of course, every day was there to hit me up on Reddit, and that started our wonderful relationship. So, thank you for reading that thread.
Yeah, I mean, basically, my side of that story is I started casting in like Hearthstone and Counter-Strike. Then I went to uni and stopped casting for like a year and a half. Then I saw a Reddit post. I saw that Reddit post and went, bloody hell, I really loved casting. And I know I can cast League. I've done it a little bit. Sure, I'll send the guy a DM. And then here we are. And we've gone from talking over each other and having terrible synergy to being, if I may say so myself, a pretty solid duo with production value provided by Pengaro. And just to, again, fill people in, it's actually gone to a pause on the stream, so we might go to a little bit of a break screen, as much as we like just
2 minutes
chatting.
Right now. Shouldn't be too long.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But yeah, we'll be in chat.
Already 45 minutes in, and no game has been played. So.
Exactly. Hopefully it gets fixed up soon enough. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. We appreciate it. We'll be in chat and stuff if you want to keep talking and stuff. But yeah, hopefully we'll be back very, very soon. See you then.
Yep. See you soon.
G'day everybody. We're going to be back for a little bit. We figured we were a little bit bored just waiting out the tech issues. Unfortunately, they are still ongoing, just to be clear. Yeah.
We have now entered the most dangerous state of VCS broadcast.
No timer.
Starting soon.
So yeah, just to fill everyone in, it's game 1 still. It's about 4 minutes into the first game of today, despite the fact that we started an hour ago. Yeah. It's just a little bit unfortunate. Something's obviously gone quite wrong. But we're just kind of here to chill. We're watching chat. If you want to, banter with us, that's all good. So, Yulwei. This is an out there question. It's about League. Don't worry.
Okay.
What would have to happen if you can't, let's say, I'm giving you a hypothetical. You've got a rule set. You're not allowed to touch gum. Okay? That's your first rule. How do you what transfers do you make to make the VCS as interesting as possible?
Oh, that is an interesting question.
But you're not allowed to touch gum. They get to keep all their players.
I take Null from DBL and put him on Flash. That's my first move.
Yep.
Then EVOS. How do I make EVOS more interesting? Oh, what is going on?
Wait, what's happened?
We're in game.
We're in game? Oh god, I closed the stream. I accidentally closed the stream. We'll get back, don't worry.
6 minutes in, nothing has happened. We will jump into game quickly.
Sure thing. Give me one moment. I do apologize, as that came out of absolutely nowhere. But we're in game. Here we go. Actually, I've got to do one more little bit of fixing. I'm sorry. We're not missing anything, I promise. Open this back up. There we go. Apologies, everyone. But we're back.
Here we are.
An hour late. It's only been 6 minutes. It hasn't been an hour.
Not sure where minute 5 to 6 went.
Yeah, they must have been
they just
trying
played the minute.
Yeah. Which is a little bit surprising. Maybe they can't chrono break,
very
which would be very weird.
Yeah,
and
some
actually,
regions can't, so
it's
might be possible.
kind of important because the top lane is developed and there's a Tiamat and a Seeker's Armguard already picked up, but it doesn't matter though because Yijin is looking for Sorn, but he gets to the blast cone and out he goes, but this is a red buff steal.
Oh, can be. Steal it away. Oh, bad Q.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Not the best.
So, yeah, we're still in a very even game stage right now. EVOS, we've talked about the, just to remind you of the team composition, I should say, because, of course, we have not seen this game for a long time now. There's a very AD-heavy composition for Flash, which shouldn't be that big of a problem, as we alluded to earlier, because there's no dedicated tank, not even the support position on the side of EVOS. First Dragon also went to Flash, which was a very important Dragon for them to secure, which is something you'd never say about First Mountain Drake, usually. But, of course, if you have one damage type, it's very important to get rid of as many multipliers for armor as possible. So that is gone out of the window. EVOS has this very strong late game scaling aspects in their comp and a strong bridging champ in the Syndra. She also scales quite nicely into the late game in terms of control.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'd say overall EVOS with a slightly stronger late game draft. There are still Aphelios on the other side, so he can always win games on his own. He's a quite ridiculous champion, of course, as we all know.
Ooh, hang on. Yoshino gets a face breaker here. He's going to deal a hell of a lot of damage, and then the flash slam coming in. Yoshino will pick up first blood in a solo kill. Hero
Nicely done.
Continuing his double lift-like tendencies of never using his flash.
Yeah, very true. Also, yeah, with flash up, you should never go down as Vladimir. You have one of the strongest defensive options in the game, of course, with pool flash.
Yeah, he disrespected the face breaker.
Yeah, for sure. The face breaker can be quite weird to read or quite annoying to play against because of the range. Sometimes you just don't anticipate the range. It is quite a long range pull. Feels a little bit like the Darius pull.
Yeah, a little bit. Kati does get tagged up here. The Unleashed Power into the Dragon's Rage will equal it all back up. Yoshino with the proxy. He's absolutely challenging here. This is a bit dangerous here, Yoshino. You need to get the hell out. Won't have Haybreaker for a little bit. Could wait in the bush if he wanted, but no, he'll just take the blast cone over. And it'll be 1-for-1 at the end of the play. Never mind! I'm immediately telling a lie, as we didn't see what happened, but apparently Sorn had himself some monk for dinner. Down goes Lee Sin.
Yeah, the other way around.
Yep, Yijin ate Sorn. I'm sorry. Sorn didn't eat himself.
Yeah, luckily he didn't do that. But yeah, a lot of kills suddenly in the game. One successful early top lane. No, don't do that, y'all.
All around me are familiar faces.
Okay, let's look at the replays, please. We don't need to see the players again.
Come on, we've got to pause. Let's go to replays.
Come on. So yeah, very, very nice solo kill in the top lane. Of course, one flash ult comes in, Vladimir can't do anything anymore. So nicely done, locking down the kill with a flash ult. It's something you don't really do a lot on set, I'd say. Probably, usually you use the ults to initiate the fight more than you finish the fight off with, right? So
yeah,
good adaptation.
I've flash ulted enough times that I don't think it's that weird.
It doesn't really matter in the 1v1, of course.
Yeah.
Usually it feels more like an engage tool.
In a team fight, it absolutely is. It's actually really good as like a final thing to use in a 1v1. I think I more use it. I would say in my play, I actually use it less to start fights because you kind of want them to they'll use like all their mobility and stuff trying to get away from you, and you let them use it, and then you just grab them.
Yep, fair enough.
And then
Okay,
they can't
so
get away
that
from you
would be the
after the
mine.
ult. Rather than you just ult them and then they use their escapes.
That's the ability of good AD ratios, so it doesn't actually matter to stack up the Conqueror beforehand. So you want to use full Conqueror stacks. No.
It doesn't really matter that much.
But you get a little bit of time to reset your auto attack, of course.
Yeah,
so you
so.
get another punch combo in as we get a
And
look.
this is the replay. Ooh, wow, cinematic. Dang, and
Nicely
just
done.
instant
Yeah.
flash, no chance to respond. He had to flash the face breaker realistically.
I want to see this ultimate in slow motion more. That was such a cool animation. Whoa.
Yeah, Set's a cool champion.
It's very unfortunate for VN production today that they've gained because they've worked on their cinematic ability.
Yeah.
I think back to the start of the game, nicely panned over all the horizon or things on the
rift,
horizon,
yeah.
and now this very nice view. I'd like to see a replay of how the jungler went down.
Yeah, we didn't see that.
What happened there?
I would love to know what happened, but hopefully they do show us. Getting it ready.
Of course, Zorn was low from the gank. He locked down the kill on Cardi in the mid lane, and I think one turret shot at least, maybe even two hit him. So he was on like 200 HP. Probably just a little bit of a catch on the side of Yijin. So 2-1 to Flash.
It is currently 2-1 to Flash, as and no, it's not just the longest game ever. It is pauses. We're about 6 minutes into.
We actually had 9 minutes right now. So
yeah,
nope.
9 minutes. That would be it. So, Ken, we unfortunately we had a little bit of action, but we still don't really have enough to talk about because it's hardly decided the game. It's a good start for Flash.
Top lane is now a 2 level disparity.
Yeah, top lane's in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
Do you think Set can ever look for solo kills without Flash against Vladimir? It's very hard, right?
He can look for him. The thing is, though, is what is he like? He's not paying anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You can just position aggressively, and it's like if you come too close and get hit by the face breaker, then yeah, I will kill you. But it's like if you do pull away, whatever, you had to use pull. It's got a health cost. It's not a big deal.
I have to say, I'm personally not the biggest fan of Tiamat first on set in winning matchups.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I think he gives up a lot of lane or possibilities to play the lane. Especially now, he could actually set up a freeze and no one could break it. Because even in the 2v1, I would be confident in the set. He couldn't probably just grab the jungler, ignore Vladimir, and get the 1v2 kill, and then run away from Vladimir because he's still level 7. So right now, it's very hard for EVOS to break the freeze, which is why I don't like him going for the Tiamat. Of course, he had the Tiamat early on as well, but
still, I don't think you really
with your lane manipulation.
Yeah, I don't think you go Tiamat against Vlad regardless because you know that's a lane that at worst is going to be very static, and at best you win because Set should never lose to Vladimir. Like he should never die. It's very easy not to die to Vladimir as Set.
Do you think it's time for some Clash stories from yesterday?
Oh, go ahead. We don't. I didn't get to play Clash, so go right ahead.
So yeah, we finally got to play Clash, of course, yesterday in EU, and yeah, I'm top laner, so I'm on duty every game. Yeah. For some reason, enemy team is not banning on as well. So first game, I played on into Darius, and I hate Darius. I, as a player, am not able to play against Darius. I just don't understand his damage range.
Yeah, it's a lot.
He one-shot me on level 1, which didn't feel great. I teleported back to lane.
Did you Hshin Shin it?
Solo killed me again.
Did you Hshin Shin?
Yeah, basically. So then I was 0-2 against the super fat Darius in the top lane. I was like, oh god, this game is so over. I mean, we lost the game, to be fair. But I still got to a point. I farmed quite well on the on. And he wasn't able to kill me because on is just on, later on. So,
eventually you
I got to 2 items and a level 13 or something. And suddenly I was way tankier than Darius. I was more impactful. So yeah, Ornn is just a very stupid champ.
Ornn at the moment, yeah, he's a bit ridiculous in so many ways.
You feel it. You actually feel it the most when you play a different tank. So I like to play a lot of Mundo, and you build the same items as Ornn. Not on Mundo, basically. Not on Mundo. You never ever built Abyssal Mask on Mundo, but you do build Abyssal Mask on the Maokai, of course. So 2 items are the same for Ornn and for Maokai. Then you look at your HP bar. You have 1,000 HP less than On.
Seems
You're like,
fair, right?
why? Why is that thing?
Seems
It's so
fair.
dumb.
I played a game. First game I played in a little while because I haven't been playing much League. Oh, are we back in? We are. Woo! No, it's another replay.
Oh,
This is in the mid lane, as it was actually just a
actually,
gank.
second
They're just flexing the production now.
yeah.
As yeah,
I mean, it's cool to see.
very cool.
So Fawn got hit by 2 turret shots. Yeah, look at this. He's down to 200 HP. That's probably why he died as well. So very easy to deduce what happened afterwards with the solo kill going over to the Rek'Sai. Of course, also very hard for Leeson to get away from if she plays it correctly. Yesterday, I learned that Rek'Sai can knock Rakan out of his jump as well. I didn't know that.
Perhaps a lot of dashes.
And I also learned that what was the interaction? I was very curious about. There's a very strange priority for. Yeah, right. Cyan Q takes priority over almost all the dashes.
Really? So it knocks out all of them.
So if you dash and he then activates Q and you're still in his Q range while the dash is like moving, you get knocked out of your dash.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I played on into Cyan and I couldn't ever dash out of his Q. It's interesting.
Suppose you'd have to just W it, but then you still take the damage. So.
Yeah. I mean, on still hard smashes Cyan, so it wasn't the problem. You could double Brittle Cyan and then he's just that because Brittle is max AP damage. Yeah, whatever, but still an interesting interaction. I got killed with ultimate yesterday. On ult kill is one of the coolest feelings in the game. It's so cool.
It is pretty good. He's like on. Yeah, he's busted, but God, he feels good to play. So I'm kind of okay with him being strong.
Not into melee champs though.
No.
On into set is a struggle. That is not a cool matchup to play. You just get beat all the time. It's like, oh, nice.
You just get beat.
Give me another half HP. Nice. Yeah, then you go into mid game and set can't do anything because you have 2,300 HP and 360 armor, and suddenly you think, okay, 20 minutes of suffering for a free win. I guess I take it. It's Clash after all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I've not actually played Clash because I don't have friends that play League anymore.
Come to you.
Hey, look, we talk about the Australian casting house, but it could be German. Why not?
Yeah.
German casting house. I think it might be tricky to convince Vinny to come. But whatever, we'll get a flat.
we should get a ranking of the countries with the worst internet, and those are the countries we want to go for, of course.
Yeah, of course. We'll go to like just some remote island, in the Pacific. Just really make sure that the stream is in like 72p.
Oh no.
I mean, hey, look, if we ever get to the point where this stream is formalized, I would move so that we can like do proper content and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Be cool. Like if we lived in the same country, we could get some cool content going.
Absolutely.
But
so what is going on? Why are the players still on stage? This is not great for the players either.
No.
They are now on stage for more than an hour already, so sitting down for a long time, kind of needing to concentrate all the time. I guess you can relax a little bit, but you never know when the game will resume, so you don't want to lose your focus completely. Of course, most professional players have a mode they can activate, kind of. So a lot of people like to do meditating before the game. They know how to get into the mood, so should be fine. But it's still a long time. I have no idea about the temperatures in the arena. I know that G2 last year in Vietnam and at MSI was struggling a lot with when they had the 1 hour break before the game against IG. Yeah. They said it was unbearably hot. So
yeah, stages in general. You can do a lot of things to keep a stage cool. Yeah. But you can only do so much. In the end, it's lights.
Yeah.
Lights are very, very hot. I used to do a lot of theatre, and yeah, you melt.
Yeah, I know the feeling as well from playing in an orchestra.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the lights are too bright, they also get very hot. So yeah. Not
So
great.
just to disclose to the stream, because if you're watching us and not the source stream, it has actually just gone to another 10-minute break, but I think we are a little bit too bored to just go to a pause. So this is going to be very loose. If you're expecting super high professionalism right now, sorry, there's no game to cast, so
There's nothing to talk about.
we don't have a huge amount to talk about. So if you're in chat and you want to ask us stuff, obviously you can always use the thing, but we're also just looking directly at chat about whatever. Because yeah, we don't have a huge thing. So what the issue is apparently something with the client. They're lagging, so that's not good. That's actually kind of a tricky fix.
Yeah. The question is if they want to replay the game now after the solo kill in the top lane.
Flash might be pretty annoyed at that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they can go back and see that the ping was the issue. Like if Hero's saying I pressed Flash.
Yeah.
Then
okay. That's
sure.
also fair, yeah.
But otherwise, if they don't have access to Chrono Break, this is where it starts getting very messy. Because
yeah, there are 2 games scheduled today, right? So, not the best start. Not the start we hoped for, of course.
no.
We might go back to one of our classics.
We're gonna go to a bit of a. So something you might think is casters. You know a lot about the game, right?
Oh no! I'm going to get exposed.
This is what you knew what you were hinting at when you said that. You might think,
yes.
Casters, you got to know a lot about the game. You've got to know, live, sleep, and breathe League of Legends. So you'd think we know what abilities are called. Do we? Because you'd be surprised. So this is a segment where I ask Yulwei what things are called and see if he knows. There's no prizes. Because what could the prize be? But we get to see if Yulwei makes himself look good or look silly. So, to start us off, what is Sion's ult called?
Ooh.
Feel free to play along in chat. I mean, that is what it is, but it's not what it's called.
Yeah. I don't know, but I can redeem myself a little bit because I know base damage of level 3 Sino.
Oh, okay.
That should be good enough, yes?
Yeah.
980 damage.
No. Well, it's because it's based off. No, it's not. I'm looking at it.
Based off distance?
Yeah. It's based off distance. Well, no, it's not based off distance. It's based off his bonus AD. It's 450.
On
for level 3? For minimum, yeah. The minimum physical damage is 450.
Okay.
According to LoLWiki.
Should go up to 900.
It doesn't have the maxes here. You might be right.
That's unfortunate.
It doesn't have the maximum, but doubling makes sense. So you're probably right. It's Unstoppable Onslaught, by the way.
Right. Unstoppable Onslaught. Very cool. Onslaught of Shadows is the one for Hecarim, right?
Hecarim, yeah, is Onslaught of Shadows.
Are there more onslaughts in the game? What other onslaughts?
I don't think there's any other ability named an onslaught. Oh, actually, hang on. I'm gonna give you a real one. I need the wiki before I even ask it because I don't know the answer. But how many of Aphelios's Qs do you know?
Oh God.
Because they all have names. In fact, I'll give you a hint. One of them is named Onslaught.
Oh.
Which one? I'll give you the names and you have to see which gun it is.
Oh, that's cool.
So Onslaught.
Probably Severum Q.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is Severum
Makes
Q.
sense.
Some of them are a little bit obvious. Like Sentry. Obviously.
Sorry, can't get
Sentry.
Sentry?
Yeah.
Oh, I have actually no idea what that means.
It means like a lookout. A sentry is like a lookout. So it's crescendum because it's like a sentry turret.
Okay.
So, here's a question about Aphelios. What's his W called?
His W has a name?
It has a name.
What? Change weapons?
No.
Offhand?
Phase.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
You had no chance of that. Okay, so Duskwave.
Duskwave?
Yep.
Das Wave. Infernum.
Correct.
Yeah, nice.
Good job. Moonshot.
Moonshot. It's probably. Oh, wait. Should be Calibrum.
Correct.
Yeah, should be Calibrum.
And there's only one left, which is
Yeah.
the grav
of
gun.
course.
Do you have a guess at what that might be called?
So the Q is the reactivation, right? The
Yes,
root.
the
so
root.
maybe something like Moon Trap or something.
Honestly, you're close enough that I want to give it to you. Like, you don't have any of the words right, but it's Binding Eclipse.
Ah, okay.
You're on the right
so
track.
much better, though.
It does sound a bit better than Moon Trap.
Moon Trap is a little clumsy.
Just a little.
Imagine the ability was called. All the casters had to go, oh, the Moon Trap again.
I mean, let's be real. Would the casters ever use it? Because we don't.
I've never heard the casters use it.
I doubt there is a caster on the planet that could, during a play-by-play, refer to them by their correct name. I don't think there's one on the planet.
For 10.4, where you can see the weapons?
They should have launched like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It actually looks very ugly.
It does.
I've played against a few affiliates.
But it's ridiculous, because the fact that you couldn't see what he had in his offhand, despite it being incredibly important, was incredibly silly.
Definitely agree with that. He's still a silly champ. His Severum got nerfed again, if I could remember correctly. It got nerfed in 10.3. Did it get nerfed in 10.4 again?
I'm not sure.
Actually sure about that. But yeah, he lost a little bit of AD on AD ratio on the later stages of Severum. Crescendum, I mean. So
they need to keep nerfing Crescendum. Crescendum's ridiculous.
Yeah, Crescendum should be removed. Just come up with a new weapon. Crescendum isn't breaking the game.
Or he
way
can
too
just
often.
have 4.
Yeah, have him have 4. What would be a cool weapon to add? So yes, he has a slow gun.
A shotgun.
He has a same gun.
Give him a shotgun.
Okay.
That's not represented at the moment. I mean,
so the shotgun, how would the shotgun function?
Like, deals damage based on range? Like, have it replace Crescendum, right?
Yeah, of course.
But instead of attack speed, it just does more damage, but then just turn the damage scaling off for towers.
And you have less attack speed ratio?
Yeah, like, I mean, obviously don't go full
a little bit like
with
Graves,
it.
Right?
But don't go, like, full down to, like, a double barrel, because that's infringing on Graves. But maybe he only has 25 total ammo. Because if you think about...
half the attack speed.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be cool.
Would be interesting. What would the ability be?
I don't know, maybe he, like, does 2 auto attacks at once. So he, like, hits you twice as hard.
I like it.
That'd be cool. That could be pretty broken, though, if they both crit.
Nothing is more broken than Crescendo, though, so whatever.
But this isn't so much a question with an answer. What's your favourite skin line?
Oh. What skin lines are there? Odyssey?
There's heaps.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Star Guardian, the Pajama Party,
Star Guardian, of course.
Odyssey.
The Blood Moon things.
While you think, I will just explain again.
Dragon. Oh, I love the dragons.
Dragon
Trainer.
Definitely Dragon Trainer.
Yeah. I love 2 of the skins are 2 of my favorite skins in the game. Dragon Trainer Tristana is such a great skin. And of course, Dragon Trainer Lulu, I think, is still the prettiest skin in the game. So
I like Dragon Tamer Heimerdinger a lot.
Oh, that one is super cool.
It's a brilliant skin.
Also, a lot of champs I love to play. So Heimerdinger is one of my mains. Lulu is my main. Tristana is my go-to. So yeah, a lot of my favorite champs. So.
True. My personal favorite line is High Noon. I really like what they've done with the Western, where it's like Cowboys versus Demons.
High Noon Lucian is one of my favorites in the game.
I like High Noon
Feels
Ash.
So great to use.
High Noon Ash is really good as well. I like it. I like High Noon Jin.
Her too much. Oh yeah, that one is good. That one's very good.
Very fun.
Project Jin is very good as well. Though.
Jin has like 3 like.
Jin is one of the best champions ever designed.
Yeah, Jin is
in
like
terms of pure designing aspects.
It's true. He really is.
Also feels great to use. When you get an Aram, I only played Jin and Aram. he's very strong there.
I play him.
But you use your ult, zoom out, and there's the music playing. It's like, whoa, what is going on? Why is this champ so great? Why does he get music?
I know, it's so cool.
Yeah, it is very cool.
Yeah.
I never hit any ult shots though.
I'm actually pretty decent with them.
I'm so bad at that.
I'm so good. Like, it's like the one thing in League I'm good at, because I'm not good at League of Legends. But it's predicting how far people have gone in Fog of War and just
nice.
Pinging them down. It's always fun. Yeah, there's the Riot. Look, say what you want about Riot. You can say a lot of things, but the skin team and the art team consistently knock it out of the park.
Yeah, and if you want to talk to one of the skin designers, come join our Discord. There's actually one of the skin designers there sometimes. He's from Vietnam. He designed a very cool Varus skin last year, the Fire Varus.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
No, was it Firewater or was it a Dark Star?
Yeah, maybe.
I think he also did. I think he also did the recent Blood Moon ones.
Yeah,
the Tryndamere Yi and Katarina ones. Which, to be fair, not going to buy any of those because when have I ever played Tryndamere Yi or Katarina? But they are very pretty.
So yeah, we actually have quite a lot of interest in our Discord from time to time. Of course, Yoshino is actually there. Not writing too much, but he's there.
He chills, which still one of the funniest moments on our Discord. That we were having a discussion, very respectful. Like, I'm not actually saying anyone was being inappropriate, but someone made the comment that Zeros was better than Yoshino. Again, very respectfully, but he led his comment with, "I hope Yoshino doesn't read this, but..." And then the next message sent was Yoshino, who hasn't talked in the server for months, just saying, "I read it."
Yeah, it was
very, very funny.
It was.
We have fun. You should definitely come join if you look below the stream. There's lots of things. You can interact with the community, you can feed a caster, all of that kind of thing. Khan, can you settle down? He's very angry.
Just to update you on the current situation, we're back to the starting soon. 10 minutes have gone by, and the game's still not starting, so sadly we can't really give you any more.
We'd love to talk about relevant things, but there's nothing... We don't get told things, unfortunately. That's the reality of bootleg casting. If you want us to be better, tell Riot that there's a market for an English stream for the VCS. And if there's enough of a market, maybe they'll formalize the stream and hire other people.
That would be quite sad.
I would be genuinely upset but I doubt it. Find out. But yeah. How do you have you looked back on your exams and how do you feel about them now that you've a bit removed?
Yeah, very funny. When I wrote out the outlines for speech today, I wrote the word happiness, right? Yep. So I wrote it like I wrote it yesterday in my exam.
And it came up red underneath?
And the funny thing is, I spent like a solid 5 minutes pondering over how to write this word. I stared at happiness yesterday. I was like, no, this does not look correct. Let's try all the different possibilities. And I didn't change it in the end. So I wrote happiness with Y instead of I. Yeah, unlucky.
Unlucky. Definitely a bit of a low roll there. Unfortunate.
Spelling's hard. Spelling is unfair today, nowadays.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Who cares? I write everything on computer. It corrects me anyway. I don't need spelling.
That's the problem I had, because, like, I've got really horrible handwriting. And I had it all through school. Well. Like, really bad handwriting. But, like, while I was in high school, because I had to write things, I kind of brute forced myself to getting back to, like, reasonable handwriting. Now, I had to write something a few days ago, and I was like, how do I even hold a pencil?
That is a big problem as well.
When was the last time you held a pencil?
Indeed. I had like one exam in uni a year ago or something, and before that I hadn't had any written exams in ages.
Right.
I sat there, was like, what am I going to do? I can't write anymore. It's just
I know.
I'm just physically not able to write anymore.
It's funny because I look back on what I did when not so much with uni, because a lot of my uni stuff was typed because my handwriting was so bad that it qualified as a type of disability. So I was allowed to use a keyboard. But when I was in high school, it wasn't apparently wasn't bad enough for that, even though maybe it should have been. But I look back on it and I go,
resources, maybe.
No, they did, because other kids got it. I didn't. Maybe mine was just legible enough. I look back on it and I'm like, for my final exam for Revolutions, I distinctly remember I wrote 11 pages of an essay. I don't think I could do that in about 6 hours now.
Yeah.
And I think my hand would fall off. How did I do that?
Yeah, there were muscles in the hand you don't actually know they are. Because I did the same. Like after that, I couldn't move my hand anymore. I was like, holy, what is going on?
Yeah.
Since when is writing this exhausting? Yeah, luckily my exam yesterday was computer based, so I didn't have to write anything.
I think most exams these days should be moving towards that.
So I actually hesitated to go for the computer-based exam. I had to. It's the only one where the time was working out for me, or would work out for me, for the application later on. So I had to go for the computer-based, and I did a computer-based TOEFL exam a few years ago, and I didn't like that because the speaking part was computer-based as well. So everyone sat there, 40 people in one room, all simultaneously started speaking into the microphones. It was so disturbing.
That's really bad. Wow.
Yeah. But luckily this time around, the speaking part of the test was separate and like in person on the 3 people in a room.
That's really weird. Like they let you get that distracted.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Really
I mean, TOEFL is super easy, so it didn't matter.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sure if it's the lowest level English test, but it's basically you prove that you are able to read things in English, and you need it for bachelor uni application, so it's qualifies at something like B2 C1.
Right. Okay.
Something like that. So it's pretty easy. It's not hard. But it makes sense you don't know what it is, because you wouldn't have to.
Shockingly enough, I didn't have to do an exam on whether or not I spoke English, just whether or not I could, interpret very old English. Then again, actually, the stuff I studied wasn't that old, at least in the later years of high school. It was old. Like I did Dracula and Frankenstein.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Dracula's
boring.
boring.
How did the English differ at that time? Frankenstein's from like 1850.
Yeah, Mary Shelley. Yeah. Frankenstein's actually very fun to read. You should read it. It's actually a good read because people. I don't know how the modern depiction of Frankenstein got to be how it did. Like where it's like attacking people and stuff, and it's like that's not what's in the book. In the book,
it's only called monster because it's ugly, right?
It's called it's ugly. And I think it attacks like one person, but it's an accident because it literally doesn't know its strength. And yeah, the whole book is just the Doctor trying to hunt it down because he's unleashed it onto the world and wants to kill it.
Oh.
If you ever want to sound smart, there's a really good line. It means nothing. This is like the most ponce way to sound smart. It's intelligence is knowing that the monster... Sorry. Intelligence is knowing that Frankenstein wasn't the monster. Wisdom is knowing that he was. Because the monster is not named Frankenstein. The Doctor is. So he's not the monster.
Yeah.
But if you read the book and you're wise, you know that he really was the monster. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not actually a smart
Nice.
statement, but it sounds really smart.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. I mean, if the sentence with intelligence and wisdom,
Yeah.
it's always.
If you ever want to pretend to be clever, just bring that one out. Well, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel here, eh?
Yep. We are. I just thought. Are you a fan of Tim Burton movies?
Yeah, I've watched most of his movies.
Yeah. So Edward Scissorhands.
Scissorhands is
one
fantastic.
of them. It's kind of Frankenstein's monster parody kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
it's the same vein. But I mean,
Yeah, it's the
Edward
same
Scissorhands was its own stage show. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
There's
Nice
actually a
one.
lot of parallels between the movie and the stage show. We're back to something. Are we back in game?
Yeah, we
Oh,
are.
we are.
18 minutes. What?
What?
Hello? Where did the last 10 minutes go?
What?
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 Well, how are
What?
we supposed to cast
Excuse
this?
me?
Come on.
What? What? VCS, have
Okay,
you just
then.
played 10 minutes of League of Legends without streaming it? What?
That is so weird. Oh, Slater dies.
Yeah, okay. Oh, Slater does die.
3
in
drakes
fact.
for Flash. Oh, I'm ahead, apparently.
Yeah, you are a little bit
3
ahead.
drakes for Flash, and almost 20 minutes into the game, 5-4, and very even in gold. That's the current state of affairs.
Yeah, I'm just
let's
gonna.
just
Can you catch us up a bit? Like, oh, as Div Kid's dead.
Oh, Cardi! Holy!
Cardi just goes for the
what?
straight solo kill. Just to tell
murdered
everyone
him.
in
That's
chat,
the-
now, if people are filtering back in now that it's not the Yulwei and everyday shit talk hour, the game was paused at 9 minutes.
At 9 minutes.
There was then about, 10, 15 minutes of pause,
Yeah.
where nothing was on
More
stream.
20.
Yeah, 20 minutes of pause, as I'll come back to it, as Carty has to dash away, but Parquet's in a lot of trouble here. Carty
he's
just can't get the assist,
Carty,
but he dies.
careful.
And yeah, it then came back, and we were at 19 minutes. So, what happened in those 10
We
minutes?
have
Who
no idea what
knows?
happened.
But
Apparently
we do
Flash
have-
got all the dragons.
Flash is on Soul Point, which is the big takeaway.
And Yoshino is going for your favorite set build, of course.
Oh,
No attack
Ashes.
speed, no cooldown reduction.
this is so tilting.
bad.
This is such a bad build. And he had such an
Yep.
easy lane where he got an early solo kill. Why the hell are you not going Triforce? This
Yeah,
doesn't make
that's
any
very
sense.
good.
He's going to bully Vladimir regardless, but
Look at how low his attack speed is.
yeah, it's super low.
Well,
Such a bad
yeah.
build.
Attack speed scales very well on the champion, which is a little bit counterintuitive. I thought the champ wouldn't really scale off attack speed too much because I thought, okay, the times 8 attack speed makes it useless to build attack speed on him, but in fact, it's the opposite because his attacks are even faster that way. So, yeah, attack speed is a very
I
strong
mean,
stat.
the big
for
one is the cooldown ladder, is the cooldown reduction.
that too. And we've actually seen a lot of rack size in the VCS go for the Umbral first item.
Yeah,
Interesting trend.
I kind of like it. It makes sense on junglers, right? If you could build it,
Yeah,
because you get
it's very
that free
it's a
vision
super
control.
broken item.
Yeah.
Especially if you're ahead. I guess I like it from ahead because you can afford to go for the item, and Rexel not do a lot in team fights either. So anyway, that's the word I wanted to go for.
4-1.
Apologies.
That's
Yeah.
something to catch up with now that we're back. Yijin's 4-1. I think we
Yeah, he
saw
got one
2 of
kill.
those kills.
Yeah.
He got one
Yeah,
on
right, he
Thorn
got
and he
one
got the
kill
one
at
in
the
the
end
gank
of
on the
last.
mid lane.
That's true.
Don't know where the other 2 came from. But there's
Like
the
this
Gravitum
pressure
ult
lot,
into
though.
the hook. Very well
Oh.
done. This is probably a dead Vladimir's. He does get the tower and
Nice
goes into the
stopwatch.
stopwatch. Goes into the puddle. He is buying a
Oh.
lot of time. Flashing.
something?
The flash was horrible as he just went into the waiting arms of Yoshino. Goes down. But did buy a lot of time to make sure no one else on his team was threatened.
And that's a very good way for
And this
Flash
is Soul.
to break. Yeah, it's a very good way for Flash to break the wrong play there. Very, very okay. The we need inside track on the mid lane to secure the dragon. So what do? We spawn our herald, group mid, and force the enemies to react to our moves, which they did, but then overstepped. And then Flash, of course, had the numbers advantage. Easy soul. So now 22 minutes soul. I think
That's very
probably
early.
the fastest we've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it can't get much faster.
Oh, nice smash.
Yoshino down here, very strong. He's actually not going the build I thought he was. Okay, never mind. I completely blanked on what builds into a Black Cleaver, so he's going the Sterex Gauge, of course.
Which is even worse than Black Cleaver.
It is worse than Black Cleaver.
At least Black Cleaver has... Oh, I like this one.
They've just gone straight for it. They've recognized the red and the white, so they're going straight onto the purple, and this should go down so ridiculously fast. It's ridiculous. And that's Baron, and they're all busy chasing Yoshino. He goes for the slam, might just try and get one counter kill onto Divkid really, really easily. Nope. And he gets out of there as well. The Dark Passage, he nearly got a double kill.
740 true damage at 23 minutes.
It's gross.
Yeah.
It's very yucky.
That's easy to deal with as the great move. We've seen this more and more with teams getting more used or accustomed to the Aphelios. So, yeah, Aphelios, red-white is the combination, Severum and Crescendum, and you can go for Baron at minute 20. Even two-man Baron is actually possible. Yeah. Maybe not with Rek'Sai.
Yeah, you need someone who can actually tank it.
Ridiculous DPS. We've seen this combination against turrets as well. It's just gross. It's really disgusting. So yeah, Baron is down. Soul for Flash as well. They're only 3k gold ahead actually, but the game looks like it's firmly in their control.
It does. We'll have to see if they can rely on the Divkid and the Parquet damage, because Hero is still going to take a little bit longer to come online. Has 2 items. So definitely can't be ignored, but they need their ADC and their mid laner to get quite a lot done to hold back Flash, who has some pretty good synergy with the Cloud Soul. Lucian with Cloud Soul is pretty ridiculous. I think. Oh, hello. Hero in a lot of trouble here, and he's just getting absolutely trucked by Yoshino. Does stopwatch the Rek'Sai ult and the Haymaker, but it does not matter, as he will go down after the Facebreaker. And they will just wander away.
Yeah, he tanked like 8 turret shots there. So yeah, TH did everything he could. He delayed. He got the heal in. Another heal was rush, but in the end, not enough. And yeah, this game looks pretty over, I have to say. So we see Speedy Lucian. I love to see that one.
It is very fun. He laces those Nikes up super tight when he's got the Cloud Soul. Parquet up here is getting dove by Carti, but uses to stop the Zhonyas.
Yeah, still ult available, so Carti doesn't fancy.
Yep, but Yijin does.
Probably the right decision.
Yijin doesn't have ult here, but he does have a Prey
Seeker.
No
mana for Parquet. Oh, that's so unfortunate. He could have ulted him there.
Yeah, I think you're a moment behind, so I might just pause for a second. That should just about sort us out. Yeah, you were calling that after.
I paused for too long. That's unfortunate.
Oh, and there is TH getting engaged on here by Yoshino. Can't stop him at all.
Imagine how this trade would look like with a Trinity Force.
Yeah, he probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
But he is pushing on this bot lane inhibitor, regardless of build. He's very, very difficult to stop as he goes in, doesn't actually bring anyone with him as he just goes through for a lazy relax through the sky. Infernum ult, not quite good enough. But they are pushing on for the win here. We don't know what happened this game. Okay. Okay. I'm pretty sure running...
Summon spells were expanded.
I'm pretty sure running was faster than that TP.
Yeah.
In fact, I can guarantee it was. As Hero now gets caught, and he can think about that teleport for a little while as he goes to the grey screen. This is the 3rd inhibitor going down. And again, what happened this game?
Who knows?
We watched about a total of 15 minutes of League. Yeah, lol wiki for giving us something to talk about.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I mean the game's not over yet. So maybe someone will make a really cool play and we can just give them that one.
Yeah, I guess so. It is basically over.
It is basically.
The Nexus has not fallen, but the game's over.
But there'll be one more team fight. EVOS will try their best to defend once.
Yeah, one more slaughter. It's not going to be a team fight. Look at the items.
Yeah, but for the purpose of
man.
MVP, someone might get a pentakill. You know,
Yeah,
think about
possible. Always possible. You have affiliates in the game. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Aphelios with a build.
It's not that bad into double AP.
I just think IE
I like
really
it into
good.
Syndra Vladimir. Yeah, it is, but you don't need it. It's you have enough damage right now on your team, and the only way you lose a team fight Flash right now is to lose the Aphelios as a pick to some ridiculous burst damage from balanced champs like Syndra. So yeah, I think it's a good adaptation here to go for first. Now Syndra can't do anything to him. The H is not being damaged because he can't itemize.
Oh, Yijin going in, trying to solo out the Vladimir. Does have ult, but chooses not to pull the trigger.
Level, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. This hero pick not going very, very well. Definitely not worth the first round pick, perhaps, as Elder Drake has now spawned. That should be the last nail that Flash needs to put in this coffin. We rejoined when there was all but, 2. But, here we are.
Well, how's the... What noise does the nail make?
When it's getting
tonk?
Bang. You bang a nail in.
Nah, it's not easy to do it. Unlucky.
But
Wanted to go for the nail impression, but I guess
you got it.
Not going to happen.
But it is the Elder Dragon taken. This should be the death march here for Flash. And I guess we'll head on to game 2.
Yep, we will. 29 minutes.
Of which we watched very little, but
took us like
there's a culling.
1.5 hours.
Oh, big damage there into the dragon for Yoshino coming out there, just looking for kills here. Oh my word! And there we go. Maybe something else. Nope. And Yoshino gets an MVP in a match that I don't know how much there is for us to talk about. I'd
like to see the mid game. What happened?
Yeah, that would be cool if we could go see the mid game. Yeah.
So actually, when we went back to the game was super even. We actually saw how the game broke open. There was the one pick on the dragon, which gave them the dragon soul, and then also the very smart decision to go for the baron. Not really MVP worthy, because that's just realizing what Aphelios does. I don't think you can award an MVP for that, but yeah, nice closing for Flash, and we're finally done with game 1.
Yeah, it only took nearly 2 hours to get one game played. I'm a little bit worried because
the issue should be sorted now.
I normally have dinner between series. Ooh,
yeah, I'm going to eat now.
Yeah, so we're going to go to our break. Yoshino getting MVP. We're going to go to our break. It's about 10 minutes because we need something to eat and to drink because that was a bit of a long haul. But it's now 1-0, Flash leading EVOS. Sorry for the issues, everybody. We do deeply apologize, but we'll have to see if Flash can close it out or if EVOS will take it to game 3. See you guys in about 10 minutes.
Thanks for tuning in and sticking with us.
Thank you. G'day, everybody. Welcome back for another day, another game, I should say. A VCS action. Hopefully we'll get a complete game this time, as it was a tech delay riddled session for the last one.
So from the 30 minutes of gameplay, I think 15, 16 maybe. So hopefully we get to see a full game this time.
Hopefully they fixed whatever the issue was. It wasn't ideal by any means. Yoshino getting the official MVP as well as ours. Didn't have much to base it on, so in the end just went with someone that got a couple of fun kills. But yeah.
Apparently now sitting at number 1 for the official rank. I think he's at 5 for us, which should be second place. Behind Dia1, of course.
Yeah, Dia1's ridiculous. I mean, that kind of makes sense for Yoshino. When Flash wins, it's very often on his back.
Yep. And sadly, he has lost a little bit of his consistency, from say. Definitely showing some weaker games, especially on the more tanky gems, which was one of the biggest strengths compared to Zeros, because Yoshino on Gun showed us that he was capable of playing all the tanks as well. This season, not so much.
Yeah, would definitely love to see him sort of showing that Mr. Consistent style. As he has been really favouring the set. We actually had Ornn go all the way through Champ Select that game. Both top laners didn't want to do it. I don't want to see this Vladimir pick for hero. He's a decent Vladimir player, but he's not so good on it that you just pick it over everything. But we are into a second Champ Select. See what they can
Mordekaiser is the first ban for Flash. That is quite surprising. Of course, second most played champ for TH and another AP top lane carry champ. Carry champ is maybe a little bit of an maybe a little bit over exaggerated.
I mean, he's does a lot of damage.
Strong. Yeah, he does damage. Set now also banned for Evo, so this is prime time for first pick. We see the Tahm Kench hit the bench. Which means Senna Tahm Kench is out of the picture. You can still pair a Senna up with stuff like Maokai. Maokai.
That's more 10.4 though.
Taric is possible as well.
Maokai is much more 10.4 though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Taric is possible still, though.
Taric is definitely possible. So. I don't think we'll see it here, honestly. I don't think the fasting Senna style fits Slater very well.
That's a good point.
But
Senna also not his most very good champion. I think he has 2 games on Senna, and both looked okay. But he's much more of the Kalista player. Yeah. He actually has no game on Senna, so I'm telling a lie.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Kalista.
Yeah. There we go. You found a champion. I'm so proud of you.
As you do seem to be a little bit ahead of us, as you prescient and tell us that it's an Ornn. As that is now locked in, we'll have to see what the answer is. A very strong start. Could, of course, be flexed to the mid lane. But we will assume that it'll be Yoshino carrying the big Ornn horn up in the top lane.
And a big question for EVOS now is, has Storm another champion? So far, he's almost exclusively played J4. Oh, no, okay. This makes sense, but it's not the greatest thing to see. But yeah, back to my Storm point. He has almost exclusively played J4 and Lee Sin. Lee Sin to not much success, and J4 is banned. So I'd really like to see a different champ. Maybe the Rexa this time, picking it away from Legion. Where is Aphelios at? Why is he not picked up by EVOS here? Well, we're in for a weird draft. Again, this is going... I guess picking away the Thresh kind of deters...
Aphelios.
Flash from Aphelios, picking up Aphelios.
This draft is getting wacky very quickly.
Yep, it's getting very wacky. Syndra would be a fine choice. I still think you can pick up Aphelios here.
The Nautilus being locked in. I don't know how I feel about this. Kati did look good on the Lucian.
You should feel bad.
Yeah.
No need to pick Nautilus here. I'm not a fan. Could have... Okay, why don't you... Why? What is going on? Aphelios disabled?
Maybe Aphelios was bugged. Maybe there was a bug. I doubt it, but maybe?
This is super strange. I'm not picking Aphelios here after picking up Thresh to deter the enemy team from picking Aphelios, and then not going Aphelios. That is some next level drafting. I don't understand.
If there is nothing wrong and Aphelios is merely available,
overlooked.
Yeah, it's just super, very, very.
Yeah. Okay, so we have to go back to what we see on. No Aphelios this game. Maybe Flash Aphelios. Can't really flex Azaya anywhere else. While you can still flex, of course, the Lucian.
Yeah,
Party had a great Lucian game.
I think the Lucian will be flexed, personally. I don't think that'll be a bot lane Lucian.
EVOS could pick up a strong tank here to this time prevent the AD comp from being as comfortable. So if you want to flex the Lucian, of course, you will once again go full AD on the side of Flash. Even Ornn is mostly AD damage. It's kind of 50-50. So, yeah, I'd like to see a Sejuani or something for EVOS to have the enemy team think twice about picking up Aphelios.
And just want to point out there, our Discord just spotted a little bit of an error that Team Flash was listed as being 5-1, and thanks to our Discord, it's just been fixed. Should join our Discord.
Yeah.
We've got power, clearly. They totally respect
There
us.
we go. Yeah, 5-2. They got dismantled by Cerberus.
Yeah, it's true. They absolutely did.
Secret?
Secret.
Service?
Secret. They got smashed by Secret. Secret.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Cassiopeia being locked in here. Parquet getting a champion he does like quite a lot.
I like this a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a very good champ against Lucian in the mid lane. Mage currently to the Lucian to get them. So now Team Flash has to reevaluate their choices. Still no tank, so could still go Aphelios, and that seems to be the call.
Yep,
I like it.
so-
I still don't understand why EVOS didn't go with him.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
Okay, they're gonna go the Ezreal.
Oh man. So yeah, he didn't want to play Aphelios into TH's Vladimir without the new lantern, so it's kind of understandable. I would have still liked to see the broken champ, especially after they showed us that they understand how to use Aphelios to get objectives.
Ornn coming, Olaf coming in last is very strange.
Go see Trani. Why Trundle? No.
Trundle's actually really good into Olaf. I like
He's
Trundle as
also
an
very
Olaf
good into
character.
On, of course. You get you get more.
I actually like the Trundle pick quite a lot.
Yeah,
I don't like the Olaf pick. I think Olaf
I really
here,
also like the Olaf pick.
yeah, has to get so far ahead to have any impact whatsoever. Does not really have the setup to do so. This is such a weird draft.
Yeah, and if Kartli is behind in this game, they will struggle to kill the On. They will really, not the On, the Trundle. Because On has one of the highest armor, if you go On items, and you have the passive cost as well, 10% free armor and MR. So On with 2 items gets up to something like 270, 280 armor. If you build one more armor item, you definitely go over 300. So 40% of that is a lot, which of course the Trundle will steal away. So Trundle will have a lot of armor himself, which means Ezreal is not doing anything to him. Solution needs to do the carrying, or needs to do the tank shredding, I should say. So if Karti's behind, especially on solo lane Lucian, who can't go first item Essence Reaver, this might be a rough game for Flash and team fights.
Yeah, overall, I have serious reservations about the draft. More so on the side of Flash than I do on the side of EVOS. It's super weird that neither of them picked up the Aphelios, but...
Yeah, especially EVOS. EVOS should have Aphelios. It should have picked Aphelios.
Yeah.
And I think with Aphelios, EVOS' draft would have been miles ahead. It's still better, in my opinion. Better damage profile. They have a lot of short range champs, actually, but it's not that big of a problem if you look at the enemy team. The only champ that really deals well with the short range comms is Ezreal, who can like kite and poke forever. On, in some situations, but On can actually die quite easily to a lot of DPS damage. So, and of course the Trundle as well. So even the On is not as tanky as he usually is. So we have to see if On can be OP enough to carry Flash to victory in game 2, even though they once again picked themselves into a little bit of a
unfortunately, this time...
What is that?
People... whoa. Happening.
It's also very cool.
Cool. It was, this time we don't have... They picked full AD last game as well, but it's considerably worse this time because Trundle is going to build armor. Trundle will get tanky, and as you said...
Doesn't even need to build armor. He can just steal armor away.
True.
Yeah. And you don't even have the tank shredding champs. Like, Lucian can shred tanks late in the game, of course, but he has to be super careful. He has big difficulties playing into the 2 mages, of course, because they can zone him forever. Kati is going towards the top lane. I like this decision a lot. Like this. Of course, he can probably abuse the top lane a little bit more. So yeah, good to see. Smart swap from Flash.
He is going to really try and zone Hero off this initial wave. Hero actually could be in a little bit of trouble as the Observer struggles to both observe and change the scoreboard around. But it's a hard job. Shout out to observers.
Oh, the creeps. Oh, Karti.
Oh, Karti. All his work for naught as he just misses CS. Ooh, but
he's actually not hard winning trades.
No, he's not.
He's even in a health bar, and that's not great into Vladimir. Level 1. Usually we want to trade health bar for creep and experience, but he didn't actually get a creeps, and now he's finally picking up a few. But Vladimir should be able to collect most of the wave, so not the greatest level 1 play for Kati.
Yep.
He's definitely still posturing very aggressively in the lane, which he should do, of course.
Absolutely.
He's still very strong. Nice combo
particularly
there.
now that he has level 2. Lucian level 1 isn't ridiculous.
But yeah, it's another game on Vladimir for TH. Reservation. I think it's better in this game than in the last game, especially looking at it as a good on counter pick. It's obviously very strong into on, can scale up. We've seen this counter pick emerge now in other regions as well. I think VCS was the first region to do so we can be proud. Ahead of the meta for once. Yay.
I mean, they're ahead.
Behind in all.
Maybe they're not behind. Maybe they're so far ahead that it's looped back around. So they're actually just about to lap the rest of the world.
I think Soraka not being picked banned while she was 100% in the other regions is... yeah.
She could still be picked in this series. We're still on 10-3.
Yeah, 10-3. Yeah, she's still the strongest champion of the game, but no one seems to care about her. So.
Yep, as Yijin gets a little bit caught here in the jungle, and the boys are coming, getting absolutely flanked in, and down he goes. CBL now does manage to back off. Aftershock is a good rune. And EVOS gets a clean first blood and retreats.
Yep, as you alluded to in draft, the Trundle is very, very strong into Trundle's only CC spell creates terrain, and that is something Olaf absolutely hates. Of course, it's still before level 6, so even if it was another CC, would have died there. But yeah, we could see a little bit of what will happen later on in this game, because Olaf can't get past the pillar.
As we do see the replay here, it was just Sorn running him down. Trundle, one of the few champions that can actually 1v1 Olaf early, plus he had friends coming. Yeah, not really many people in the game can fight Trundle on the frozen domain. So, yeah, going in, knowing that the Olaf isn't going to expect counter jungling, and getting a very easy first blood.
Yep. It's still very even in the other lanes, of course. 300 gold lead only of the early first blood. But the Olaf off to a bad start, and we questioned the Olaf pick and bans. What is he supposed to do here? Which lane is he supposed to accelerate? Not bot lane. There's an Ezreal Nautilus that is not going to do anything for him. So bot lane is out of the question. The top lane, I guess On could set up something on the Cassiopeia, and it's not easy to execute on. So top lane dives are probably the easiest way to get yourself ahead, but we've not seen that happening so far. So yeah, Olaf looking quite useless so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He will try and take this dragon here, but he's spotted out by Sorn. Sorn's just gonna, I think, wait. Yijin needs to think about getting the hell out of here. Still hitting this dragon.
So he's just actually good call.
He's actually just gonna get it. He sticks it.
Very patient. Yep. No panic flash over the wall. Nicely done. He keeps his cool and just takes the dragon. Says, okay, you're Trundle, you're standing close to me, but I don't care. My team is here to back me up. So nicely done. Flash redeeming their jungler a little bit, and another very early dragon. So we might see another 22-minute dragon snowball happening.
Now that is much more what Lucian's meant to do up here, Kati. As he pulls out the culling, won't be able to bend those bullets. And all CBL, he is in the middle of nowhere, stuck between a pillar and Desire Place. And that is another kill for Sorn.
I have absolutely no idea how Sorn...
I don't know.
There's no red buff on him. He didn't have ults. What?
How he's slow?
He ran away. Red Smite, of course. That's Red Smite. There we go. Of course, Red Smite.
Doesn't the Q slow as well? Doesn't the chomp?
Yeah, but it doesn't do damage. It doesn't do damage after you run away.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Red Smite did manage to get that one. So he'll be up here getting his red buff. He's off to a very, very good start, and already...
Look how tanky he is already. Man.
And this is already the situation we outlined that Flash really couldn't find themselves getting into, where if they're behind and that Trundle gets ahead, they are in so much on CBL. No.
Yeah. Nothing you can do, really.
Really
A little
smart.
bit too aggressive.
I do want to just point out, it didn't matter a huge amount, but Sorn positioned really smartly there. He was always between the Nautilus and the wall, so there was no chance for Spider Naut out. Don't think it would have mattered a huge amount in there, but still good to see that Sorn had the awareness to do that.
Oh.
Ooh, Carty.
Another attempt from Carty.
Does a lot of damage, but Crimson Rush is good.
And Flash. So, yeah. He should be safe. Zero should be safe. We thought he should be safe in the... So, who knows? Maybe Carty can do the same. Usually people say mid laners are better players than laners. Maybe not so much in Flash, but yeah, if Carty can solo kill TH as well, maybe he can claim that as well.
Yeah, possibly. We could have another situation where one team has all the best top laners. They're just not playing top. Don't know if we'll go that far yet, but who knows? Maybe Carty can blow our minds at the start of this second split. Yijin will be able to take this hell. This is actually quite cheeky. They obviously know...
How did it get there? What?
Good question. They obviously know what's going on, but they can't see the health bar on it or whether he's still doing it because he's in this one strip of Fog of War. I wonder if he knows there's a ward in the top rush and if he knows that he's in this ridiculously cheeky spot. As they do secure it, there's some question mark pings going on the pit saying, what the hell?
Yeah, it was very nicely done for you.
That was really smart.
So he has now shown two very smart adaptations around the...
Ooh, hero. Takes a lot of time. That TP is very interesting. Here's the Ragnarok.
What was that?
They just want to take him completely out of here.
But why invest Olaf ult?
Just to really chase him off, I guess.
That was...
really get him out.
Very optimistic for
but
Legion.
They're doing...
he's into the turret. Can it charge now?
That'd be cool if it had, like... Maybe it should have, like, another animation.
It can. There we go.
Yeah. How cool would it be if you could place it like directly on the tower and it means you get a sped up charge because it like bursts out? How cool would that be? Like bursts out of the turret and does its damage? Complete hero. Knocked up.
Yeah. He still has flash.
And he does. Yeah, but the Ornhorn being blown and he flashes it. But that's a summoner spell. And a tower secured. Flash getting back in the game a little bit, but here's Sorn. He's a tanky troll running at him. Yijin, gotta get her out of here, but the teleport is used. And the arrival of Carty will make sure nothing continues happening.
Yeah, great for Parky though. He gets to free farm mid lane even more. Already ahead in CS. Might be able to get it plating here, not quite fast enough. So in the end, the two TPs top lane didn't yield anything for EVS in the mid lane, which is quite surprising. Both laners TP'd from mid lane to top lane, and the enemy mid laner was not able to capitalize.
I mean,
maybe...
I don't think the teleports weren't necessarily important, but in the end they did get first tower. As much as the TP wasn't necessary. Oh no. Well, I'm going to take the time because I made a sandwich in the break but didn't get to eat it. So feel free to fill the air because I'm just going to take a bite of
there we go.
My toasted ham and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, enjoy. So hopefully we get to see at least some replay. So my point was more both laners invested time into the top lane and forced a lot, of course, in the top lane. And Parky still wasn't able to get to the single turret plate. Of course, he's still nicely on the clock when it comes to 10 CS per minute. 1 CS per minute wouldn't be too great. So he's the strongest here. Could be a little bit stronger, but now early first turret for Flash. I looked at the goal totals, and it's not that much apart. So the early first turret on the 5 plates didn't give Flash that big of a lead. They now have to think very, very thoroughly about the lane assignments, because it's not too easy to get away from Trundle, especially as an... Can, of course, destroy the pillar, but then you lack an escape spell, so... Not the greatest option. So if Sorn is now Ornn is now put into the top lane, he needs to wait for the wave to push into him because he can't overextend. Or if he does, he will die. So we'll have to see how Flash handles that situation, or if they want foot on the pedal and go for another turret in the mid lane. Maybe abandon a few waves in the top lane. Could go for that as well. Just try to up the tempo and sacrifice some CS and experience. Of course, experience very, very good on early on. You want to rush towards level 12 as soon as possible. It's more important than the CS. Of course, you want 2 items by the time you're 12, but sometimes 1 item is enough as well. And we're back in game. So
yeah, that we are. Good thing, not a super long pause. We're back in. Looking a little bit better. As we look down at this bot lane, it's very even down here. The tier in the Sheen.
Yeah. And second dragon has spawned already. We are super early on the dragon cut. This might be a fight. So
yeah,
Thorn
potentially
can
could
only
be.
steal MR, really.
There is a flank coming here. CBL could look for something onto DivKid. But I think in the end, they're just too split. And there's the smite. Picked up.
So no 22 minutes old this time for Flash. I think Flash, of course, now with the Ocean Drake spawning, they really gotten that. But yeah. It's also Mountain Drake for the Trundle, which, of course, he's very happy about. But as I alluded to right now, the Trundle is not that tanky, because he can only steal MR from the enemy tank, and MR is not super useful. Flash, they don't have any AP damage.
We'll make this point afterwards as Parquet does manage to get some fancy feet there. The first axe misses, but the culling is doing so much damage and forces his flash. The point I wanted to make
is... Olaf ult. Another time nothing happens.
So one of the things that Trundle can do is, yes, you're completely correct, all he can steal at the moment is a bit of MR. What he can also do is ult the ulting Olaf, because Olaf loses resistances when he presses R, because of the passive effect of Ragnarok. Yeah, and then you steal even more, and suddenly it's a Papercraft Viking.
I mean, if you look at that, he should actually ult the Olaf before he presses. And then he presses ult.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true.
Even...
Sorry, that is true. I meant to say that, but I got it the wrong way around. What? Is it? Like, they're going in for the engage? Like, does Trundle ult just become a disengage tool? Yeah, like, Olaf is running at you, you just ult him and say, yeah, I dare you, press Ragnarok?
I mean, to be honest, right now you don't actually need to ult the Olaf.
That's true.
He's paper anyway.
Going forward.
Yeah, maybe. If he picks up a tank item, he went full aggro Olaf. It's a little bit surprising.
And I mean, this is, I think, demonstrating part of the problem with Olaf. Could definitely still recover from it, but if he doesn't get ahead, he's just not a very good champion.
No, he's not. Oh, going back to your very interesting. Do you know what the record for lowest magic resist on the game is?
Well, it'd have to be negative.
Yeah. It's very far in the negative.
You'll have to tell me.
Minus 852.
Wait, in a real game, or is this like something they did in
Yeah, it's Vendrelil, of course. So
right, okay.
No. He
still did it. It wasn't against so it was okay, but how did he do it?
So you have Trundle in one team, and you have Sejuani, of course, with Aftershock. You have a Braum as well. There was someone else to buff her up.
Maybe like a Knight's Vow? Knight's Vow or something?
Taric or something, yeah.
Knight's Vow doesn't give armor.
No, you only receive armor. That's right. But you also go for Wits, so stacked up Wits and Braum, and we have a fight.
We do have a fight here. There's the Olaf ult being used. It does do something this time because it gets him out. But yeah, he is paper thin.
Oh man! You almost died solely to Thorn's ult. Oh, now the re-engage is happening.
Yeah, the re-engage absolutely is happening. Thorn gets knocked up. Carty is here, but the miasma is very, very well placed to dissuade any possible chase. And now it's EVOS with control of the river.
Between EVOS and Flash, and Desire is in the bot lane. That means we are in for a pentakill.
It's true. It is true. If DivKid doesn't walk away with at least one pentakill, it's a bad game.
Yeah. So Sejuani with Trundle has very interesting.
That's a lot of negative. I think it's interesting that you can get to negatives.
Yeah, negative 800.
Yeah, that's a lot. But I mean, like, obviously that
Quite
will
dumb.
never happen in a game, but like the fact that
No.
there are actually situations where you can get to negative armor. For a very long time, I just assumed it stopped at
Acnivia
0.
is always negative, or at least for the first like 8 to 16 levels or something. Acnivia is on -40 when she spawns. So
That makes sense, though. She's meant to be pretty easy to kill.
yeah, it's actually quite deceptive as a Nivea player. Die to gank or something early on. You think, okay, it's fine. I have Ack. If you're not under turret, Ack doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The enemy team will be able to burst down Ack very.
Speaking of revive passives, I had a moment of rare appreciation for a solo queue teammate today. 2 solo queue teammates. I was playing Zac up against a Master Yi jungle.
Oh, the teleport.
Ooh.
No, the teleport.
Oh, right. Yeah. But it was even better than just that. So my bot lane was feeding. I had a 0-6 Kai'Sa. All of those kills had gone straight into a Master Yi. Wasn't fun. But I was doing really well. I was out farming him. I had like 3 kills and a bunch of assists. So I was like, yeah, I can fight him in the river. It was really close. He survived on about 100 health when he knocked me into my blobs. The second I went into my blobs, 2 teleports start channeling to save me. And I was like, my boys, they care. As my mid laner and top laner arrived.
Oh, the engage is happening.
Oh, wow. That is so much damage being dealt there. Big Ornhorn to buy some time. But this was an absolutely massive play out of Parquet. So much damage being dealt. CBL goes down. In the backside, though, we do have Carti picking up 1. And they do get the dragon regardless.
Yeah. Better positioning. Of course, Yoshino teleport Carti the backside. And Yoshino murdered Son in the 1v1, which is not supposed to happen. So right now, On is still very strong. And On, of course, doesn't lose damage if you steal. He actually loses a little bit of damage, I'm lying. The E is scaling of armor and Amar. So you lose a little bit of damage. But yeah, it's not that much, especially not in the early game without ornaments coming in. So very nicely done. Still hasn't built armor. I like what Yoshino did. We criticized him last game for his item choices. This game, perfect. It's just very, very good. He's going for the Sunfire Cape, of course. Forgefire Cape, one of the best upgrades. But he's not building any armor. So
I mean, to be fair, armor's not very good this game. 2 of the carries are AP. But here we go. This was it. CBL started it off, and this was a huge Ornhorn, and Sorn just gets absolutely blown up.
Yeah, Sorn couldn't move.
Yeah, the Ornhorn spelled the end of Sorn.
It's nice.
As Flash...
Still more kills to EVOS, though.
Yeah, it was more.
They had 1k gold. Still looking good for them.
Yeah.
Also, outscaling, like, heavily. So, yeah, EVOS is still very fine with the situation right now. This dragon, and it was a little bit of a weird turn of events, because they won the team fight. They still had to lose the dragon, because their positioning was not great around the dragon. They picked the fight on the top side, and they lost the fight with the jungler involved. So, yeah, they had to give up the dragon. But it's only second dragon, so whatever.
Rift Herald being summoned up here in the mid lane, potentially trying to crack that open, make their rotations a little bit easier.
Oh, another fight.
Wow, the fight comes in. B. I don't know how he got there.
He missed. How did he miss?
That was interesting. As the Featherstorm comes out, the Blade Caller, Yoshino taking so much damage. He goes down, and the tower is actually saved. So this is already a win for EVOS. Can they get anything more? Or it will just be the 1-for-1?
Will they get the counter push going? Yeah, it should be the turret, actually, for them now. Every team has to back off. Oh, good. Ezreal ult. Maybe Slade is out. No, I don't think he can. So
doesn't do enough damage.
This will actually give the turret over to EVOS. Oh, it's looking dire. It's looking dire.
Yeah, this team comp is getting punished.
I'm not sure how.
We'll have to see a replay, see if we can catch it.
He didn't hit the turret. Unfortunate for Yoshino. I think the would have turned the fight potentially, but he missed it and got turret aggro and died pretty quickly. Still no armor, so turret and Slater deal a lot of damage to him. So yeah, could see maybe the worst parts of this build path in action.
We definitely could, as let's continue going.
Our favorite screen today, Sepia Rift.
Oh, that's not going. That's hurting me on the inside just a little bit.
Yeah, G2 and G2 and Navi are getting ready.
There's another series to play.
No.
This is
And
not been a
potentially
great
another
day.
game as well.
Yeah, I think very likely in another game.
Pretty likely. It's still EVOS, so they might still be able to throw away everything later on. Quite
Yeah.
good at that,
Look,
honestly.
as someone that has worked in tech very briefly, generally one thing goes wrong and everything goes wrong. So
Might be the case as well. At least we've seen a little bit more footage from this game, and not quite as long pauses. So if we continue to get better throughout the day, third game should be without any problems. Let's hope for a quick or a very brief pause only.
hopefully.
So Trundle. How happy are we with Sorn's Trundle so far?
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
I think Trundle doesn't exactly have super high peaks of what you can do with him. He's a bit of a binary champion. You run it whoever you run at. You try and get very tanky, and then you chomp people and
Great
put up a pillar.
autofill temp, by the way.
Yeah.
Go autofill Trundle. Don't go Lee Sin if you can't play Lee Sin. Just don't. Go Trundle or Skarner and win games.
Yeah. It's true. Don't try. Yeah.
Yeah, I like this early invade, and he's in control of the jungle. A little bit of a mistake. I think it's not really on. So, it's more on the team.
Yeah.
Choosing their priorities. Maybe a little bit wrong. I guess they still got 2 kills, right? So can't really fault them. Yeah, it's a weird game for him to play because he wants to steal armor from. Still hasn't gotten any armor, so it's like, I mean, am I supposed to ult the On anyway, or should I try to ult the Nautilus maybe because he is below armor? So yeah, I think the later the game goes, the easier it gets to play for Sorn, especially with the armor items coming in later on for the On as well. So
Yep.
he should have a very nice game ahead of himself.
Yeah, he absolutely should. Again, we have to apologize so much that it has been a rough day for the broadcast. Lots of pauses, lots of delays. We're in game
Look
2.
at that face.
Yeah, that is the face of a broken man.
Oh man, poor Div Kid.
I mean, the sponsors for the teams must be loving it because we've just got constant player camps with all the sponsors on the jersey. They're getting their money's worth. I mean, that's a question. Well, I've got some time. Whose jersey do you prefer?
I just wanted to ask the same question.
I thought you might.
Flash. Wait. Well, how does Flash's jersey look?
I like the colors of Flash,
EVOS.
but I like EVOS's design more.
Yep, same. I like the colors as well, but it's a little too plain for me, for my liking.
I also, I understand
the red thing in the middle.
Yeah,
is not
the
great
sponsor.
well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up. I understand that you can only do so much with sponsors. This is a funny story. It's completely unrelated to League of Legends. Just that conversation made me think of it.
80% of this cast are.
It's true, because apparently there's no League of Legends being played. There's a guy in Australia, his name's Clive Palmer. He's a politician. Well, quote-unquote politician. He's really rich, and he ran for parliament once. But he owns a soccer team, and he made it. Well, he don't know if he owns the soccer team or he just sponsors them, but he put as the sponsor a massive protect free speech, because he's very big on that. Because Australia technically doesn't have free speech. I'm going to finish the story real quick as we go back in game, and then 3 weeks later sued someone for calling him names. Dickhead.
Yeah. Great.
Bit of a dickhead.
Not hypocritical at all. No.
Yep. Not at all. But we are back in game. I can put my silly stories back in my pocket.
And we have 2 On items now for On. So right now it's a good time to. They might want to wait for another level to get the Trinity Fusion as well. On top of that, a very valuable item. Actually, I like the Frozen Fist on Ezreal a lot because
I do too.
Yeah, it's not very useful in this game, honestly. So I can agree with the choice of Trinity Force this time.
Holding a Trundle back?
That's true. Yeah, in terms of utility, yes, but not in terms of stats, because the big thing about Frozen Fist, of course, is 125 armor. That is so ridiculous. So Frozen Fist gets a lot of shit from all sides when built on On. And the key part here is, of course, for On, it's not a great item in terms of value because you don't get HP. You only get armor. But for Ezreal, the Frozen Fist is so much more valuable than the Trinity Fusion, also in terms of pure stats, because all the tank items have more stats on them.
Ooh,
Okay,
wow. Olaf just blows up. So,
that was...
I think...
well...
I think I said something about Olaf is a risky pick because he has to get ahead. I remember saying, I'm not that smart. I couldn't possibly have made that observation.
So I remember myself talking about Olaf's jungle item choice.
Yep, you did. As Baron has been started here, it's going down very, very quickly. The Ornhorn's being blown. They're trying to go across it. Sword's actually very, very low. Do they have the True Shot Barrage? But yeah, there's no way.
So yeah, no way.
Oh, True Shot Barrage was a bit late. Yep, they'll get away. Should be fairly easy. As the 4 men in purple chase him down.
Yep.
And this is all going very wrong for Flash.
Yeah, it's very quickly spiraling. Yeah, it seems like Flash just can't take. And we've talked about this in the Champions Select as well. Once again, praising our great analysis here. Yeah,
the trick is your way. The trick is your way. You say stuff I said, and then I'll say stuff
I don't
you
say
said.
that. Sorry, messed it up.
And then we're not promoting ourselves. We're just promoting our casting butt.
Yeah, there
clever.
we go. That's the trick.
No, but do mate. Yeah, this was just a bit of a flawed draft, I think, for Flash.
Yeah,
and it got even worse in game.
Still not a big fan of the earlier Lucian. I've solo lane Lucian as a pick, not without any other source of magic damage. You could have even gone for something jungle. Even worse than Lucian, of course. Or Silas. Like there's a lot of good junglers, good AP junglers. Talia, Heejin could probably play those. Nidalee is one of Heejin's favorites, so even go Nidalee. Why did he go Olaf? And so late in the draft as well. The Olaf doesn't make any sense.
One of the big
Lucian is not great, but still feasible, and you can still draft around it. But why Olaf?
Something as well that makes a very little sense to me is why Ezreal. Aphelios was open. Yeah. Aphelios can shred tanks.
Syndra as well.
Yeah. Oh, Cardi in a bit of trouble here. Has to flash away. The flash follow, and there's the kill.
Yeah, this game is over.
Yeah, this is over.
Think back to the laning phase.
Let's have another pause that skips. Dominated. Let's have another pause that skips 20 minutes, and we'll just not watch the rest of the game.
Yeah. But if you think back to how much TH struggled in laning phase, now he's so. That's really the nail in the coffin. So yeah, Yoshino. Trying to get some.
There's the Ornhorn. They're doing a lot. They're actually doing a lot of damage here onto Div Kid, but they might not be able to finish him off. There it is. That's a big shutdown there. They ride him out, but in the end, it doesn't matter because 3 members of Flash are lying dead on the ground. And yeah, they just can't fight here.
What are you talking about? Olaf got the shutdown, so now Olaf is scaling, dominate.
What? Look at his third item. Look at the item in the 3 slot of his inventory.
Oh no.
What's that going into?
I can respect what he's doing. He's like, okay, whatever I build, if I give a tank item, not matter. So let's just go full on aggression. Maybe you can burst someone down. Maybe you can win the one we're going against.
What do you think that's going into?
GA, probably.
That's boring, though. What if it's an IE?
IE Olaf?
Yeah, why not?
IE Olaf to get the lucky crit and come back.
Don't you remember last year?
Honestly, I would respect it.
Don't you remember we saw last year the IE Rek'Sai?
Yeah.
The much famed.
IE Rex
was a thing that was built in a pro game, therefore it's good.
Yep, it was.
As here comes the replay. So this was just a catch onto Yoshino. Yeah, good cleanse. And
look at how much Divkin can see here, and he still doesn't go down.
They just don't do damage.
Forever.
They do not do damage until finally.
This is quite ugly.
Yijin, the only one to get a kill there, so therefore carrying his team. Team really letting him down.
Oh, the pick on Thorn potentially.
Thorn. But look at the damage and the healing coming out of that. Oh, he's just charging straight forward. He is not afraid of Kati. If he has that stone blade. Yep. The big boy.
That's also not supposed to happen, of course, especially not with Blade of the Rune King. So we're in a lot of Flash is in a lot of trouble.
Mate,
7k gold on.
It's weird. It's weird though because we didn't really get told that they were going to be broadcasting scrims instead, like the LPL. But I think we can restart this scrim.
Yeah, we will start another one in like 4. So not too much time lost.
It's fine. That's why we didn't watch 10 minutes.
Will be quick and will be short because I think we need to get back on schedule.
Don't know how much of a chance there is of getting back on schedule at this point. It's looking like it's going to be a 3-game series. But the mid lane tower now being pushed.
Good for my prediction game, though.
Ooh, bang. Up goes the team, and this is a good start here. Slater will start us off. Out goes Olaf. Can they actually find anything more? Ooh, a lot of damage out of Slater. This could be a turn here. They've got the catches. There's a shutdown. But TH on the side, as you say. CBL should be the first one to go down. He goes golden, and they're going to catch the Ezreal. And suddenly, the fight becomes even. And they just don't have the longevity.
Almost the perfect fight for Flash, and they still don't really win. So I'm not sure what to talk about in this game anymore. In team fights, Yoshin has at least hit level 30 now. He needs the fastest way to accelerate your gold gain, of course, is just to get on items. So give levels to the on and try to get as many on items as possible for the next team fight. There's one on Ezreal right now, one of the strongest upgrades, of course. I think the next one will go towards Kati, which, even though that's, in terms of stats, the weakest on upgrade in the game, the Might of the Rune King.
Oh no, there's the hook, has to immediately use the Ragnarok. Can they get into pit with the steal? One way they could come back in this game is an Ocean Soul. Ocean Soul makes scaling pretty damn easy, and they are on Soul Point.
I was so lazy from EVS.
They just should have reinforced their jungler.
Up so much better. Yeah,
they are heading towards Baron.
Great towards. Yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, there's a smite for Yuji though. So Baron is definitely a very quick objective for EVS, especially if Parker decides to hit it as well.
They're not.
Please.
They're not even going to get close enough.
It could have been taken already if Parker decides. Join in, but it's going down anyway.
Ooh, there's a culling doing quite a lot of damage. Cardi doesn't really get anything onto Parquet though. CBL will be the first man to fall. Ooh, big knock up there by Yoshino. Sorn is just never ever going to die. The man could topple mountains. Slater trying to deal with Hero all on his lonesome, but that is 4 members of Flash dead. Yijin, once again, the true MVP, only one left alive. And he gets a kill onto B, but then dies to the Snack Lady. And this should be the game-winning push here. EVOS sending us to a Game 3 in what has been an epic, absolutely absurd, nearly 3-hour-long series.
With 2 games below 30 minutes.
Yeah.
A very, very strong performance for EVOS in the mid-game. A nice objective control. Not Baron. Very good call for them. Parker is super fast on the Baron. There is also... Of course, your ADC helping out. Zarya, standard damage on the Baron, not too bad either. So now they don't actually look too happy.
No,
they've been sitting here for a while. So they were like, I kind of want to go home, but I also don't want to lose. So what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see maybe if they can perk themselves back up for Game 3. But we do have to pick an MVP here for Game 2.
Yep.
I think Thorn had a heap of impact.
Thorn was very strong. Divkid had some very good team fights. Got quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think Divkid.
Not sure if I want to get to Divkid. B didn't really do enough to warrant an MVP. TH, I guess, could be a candidate.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning Thorn. Thorn had the early game impact that was necessary.
I agree.
Yeah. So we'll lock in Thorn.
Let's give it to Thorn.
Lock in Thorn for Game 2's MVP here. And it's 1-1. It's been a long day already, but we're going to keep going to see who will take it away, Flash or EVOS. This is an important one for both teams. This game really, really matters. I've been every day. With me has been Yulwei, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, for Game 3 of EVOS First Flash. You might think we're on our second series, but we're not. We're still in Series 1,
No.
Game 3, to see who can take what is a very important series home. And, I mean, who have you got? This is a hard one to call.
So I predicted Flash, which I think is probably the easy option. I predicted 2-1, so let's hope. Let's hope for that, yeah.
I think I predicted 2-0.
I'm almost perfect. I'm almost perfect on the week, so I just needed 2-1 Flash and the 2-1 Gum today to be 1 point from perfect.
You can't go perfect, you'll overtake me.
I think we're even right now, right? So
yeah, I mean, you're 3 points ahead of me this week already. And we've got the same prediction for the last series.
Yeah.
So.
Been inting for the last few weeks, but now I'm finally online and catching up to MB in no time. Yeah, that's very ambitious.
I don't think so. She, I don't know. She's got the script. She's cheating.
Yeah,
I'm convinced.
So maybe she can tell us who's going to win this one, because Flash is back on red side, and usually Flash is a very red side team. Lost 1 game so far all season on red side, so I expect them to get out of draft with a better composition. The last 2 drafts have been sketchy. On has been completely ignored in the first draft, then Aphelios completely ignored in the second draft. Not to speak about Soraka, of course, who is ignored for the whole of VCS for some reason. I
actually don't get it.
It's so
if
weird.
It was like 1 week, then okay, maybe. But it wasn't. It's been like 3 weeks.
4 4
weeks. Like
way too long.
It's not that hard, guys. You can play her.
Yeah, I don't expect her to suddenly show up now.
I mean, if they really want to pick the Olaf, if they really want to play the Olaf for no reason, maybe they can go the Unkillable Viking.
Yeah,
I love that comp. I want to see that more.
If I don't get to see a single Soraka today, play Soraka on 10-4 today in Flash.
Don't put your friends through that. You want to still have friends.
Man.
I mean, that's just saying, just a bit of a self-plug. If you get that Patreon going and we end up having a caster house, caster clutch sessions, let's go.
Yeah.
Give us money.
Good idea.
Joking, of course. So, only half. As we wait to see if we go into games soon enough. But yeah, what do you think needs to change? I know Flash needs to change a lot to do with the draft.
Yeah, draft an AP champ, please. For once. It's not that hard.
Just put Yoshino on
the
cannon.
The weren't bad. Put him on if you can get on, but don't pick Lucian Ezreal as your carries, please. And if you do, then go Karthus or Silas jungle. Don't go Lucian, Ezreal, and Olaf. What is the purpose of that draft? Please stop. So yeah, I just think it's really all about draft, because in game, the last game wasn't too bad for Flash. They just couldn't win team fights. So Heejin had a bit of an off game, but then again he was also facing one of the champs to face with an Olaf. He got invaded by the whole team. So I think it's just a full reset here. Don't think too much game. Try to come up with a better composition. Either go back to the top lane AP carries or go towards the mid lane AP carry. It's not that hard, please.
There's a lot of things they could
do. Want to show that Carti can play AD carries as well, like carry champs like Artifact in the mid lane, who loves to play Lucian. But yeah, we understand. Now we can go back to user drafts.
Yeah. We get it. Let's just not. I mean, I'd also like to see Hero on something else. I still think he's pigeonholing himself onto this Vlad. It went fine last game, obviously, but it still seems like going forward in the split, they could if he suddenly is just like, no, me only play Vlad, that's bad.
Yeah, it's already heading into that direction, right?
He's like almost already a Vlad 1 trick.
Seven Vlad games now. So if he picks his 8th Vlad game, that would be almost half of the games of the split for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with. I want to see him on something different. We know that he can play different champs as well. He has 4 games on set. He has played Aatrox before to quite some success. They're on blue side, so on first pick is possible as well. Just please pick something else for the top lane, even though, as you rightfully said, still struggling in laning phase a lot. And if that's your best champ, or the champ you go back to all the time, you should have a better laning phase, especially against off-rolling Karti.
Yeah, true. I mean, Karti did fine in lane. It was just in the end their comp didn't do it. Does seem to be some issue that's stopping us getting to champ select. Truly the continued descent into madness for this broadcast. What would, other than an AP champion, what kind of comp do we think Flash would be best served by?
That's a very good question. Flash is kind of transformed over the course. They very great team cohesion on the very first series against EVO back in game week 1, day 1, of course. They smashed EVOs in lane, got off to like 2.5k gold leads in almost all the games, and then failed to do anything with that. And now they are more of a late game scaling team. But if they want to be the late game scaling team, still with a solid early game, they need to pick better compositions. They need to pick on-theme compositions where everything makes sense and not put an Olaf where Olaf doesn't belong. So
the late pick Olaf didn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I actually think it's a fine strategy, especially in a league with a GAM. If you say, okay, we can't ever be as good as GAM in early game, it's better for us to rely on the late game and try to attack them there. Because if you think back to the Flash GAM series, which Flash won, of course, Flash won in the late game through exploiting some of the overreaches for GAM, you could say, or one very bad Baron, of course, in the game 3. So, yeah, I think they need to figure out their drafts more. I think it's okay to move into late game direction and still maintain your strong early game, but please, then improve your drafting. Surge needs to go.
Well, he definitely needs to. Harsh, he needs to have a bit of a surge, at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at the moment, I mean, I'd like surge along to get into game. I was saying, Katowice starts at 3 a.m. No worries. Yeah, well, it's 12 a.m. and we're in game 3. Could have a 3-game series after.
Yeah, it's quite likely. Although it's also GAM, so maybe GAM to your rescue and just smash them in 20 minutes, 2 games in a row. So that's still possible. Yeah. I'm still mulling over my prediction the second game. I have not yet decided. Do I go 2-0 or 2-1?
It's too late.
Right now it's a 2-1. No, second series is still okay.
Weak.
It gets locked.
Weak.
No, it gets locked when the first draft starts. So it can still change.
True. I'm going to change. I think I might change mine to 2-0. Because I want it.
You want the 2-0?
I want the 2-0. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interests when you go for 2-1. You're like, I want the 2-1 for my prediction. Honestly, please.
I want 2-0 so I can go to bed. I'm sleepy. But regardless, we should have some League of Legends for you soon.
Is it silver or blue? I'm really not sure. As my stream is really struggling.
What do you mean? What?
The YouTube stream for me is struggling right now a lot. So
okay on my end.
It's only on my end. Okay.
So thankfully, that's the end that
strikes again. Nice.
But thankfully, because we have switched up as of this split, who's doing production, we get saved by the fact that I mean, it's interesting. So I think if we did it at the times were reversed, my internet would probably struggle. But it's midnight here, so no one's using the internet.
That might be actually why my internet.
Yeah, maybe.
These times as well. I mean, my apartment mate also just go. Maybe he's watching some stuff in his room right now.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, while we have a delay, you watching anything at the moment of your animus?
So while studying for my exam, I've some. So I didn't want to watch some you, where I want to concentrate a little bit more. So I rewatched my one of my favorites from last year, which was Kanata no Astra. On English, I think it's Astra Lost in Space.
Yep.
Very good anime for noobs, for anime noobs, I think. A very good starter-friendly anime.
To get you indoctrinated.
Yeah. I think better than a lot of the old classics that always get promoted as starters, like something like Death Note or something. Because I think if you watch Death Note right now, it's quite cringy if it's your first anime ever. There's a lot.
I watched as an anime noob. I watched Death Note a little bit ago, and it's good for half of it.
Yeah.
First half of Death Note's really good.
There's still a lot of barriers. Like a lot of very anime things in that anime.
I think maybe I can get down with things that are kind of like over the top and camp, because there are some moments in Death Note.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I showed it to some of my friends who are really not. They felt they liked how like the thrilling aspects, and you definitely don't get bored watching Death Note, but they really hated some of the role cliches depicted and stuff. So yeah, I think that's better in modern animes. It's a little bit better. It moved a little bit away from that. So.
Good. We do finally have a champion select here.
Watch that one.
Do finally have a champion select here. I didn't even get to talk about what I was watching. That was disappointing. But we have something much more important. Yeah, probably. Talk about Altered Carbon. But Blitzcrank immediately being removed. CBL still pulling these target bans that I just don't think are necessary. If you're not planning to play Tam Kench, I don't think the Blitzcrank ban is necessary. Mordekaiser being removed as well.
Yeah, speaking of not necessary, what is that Mordekaiser?
If you're going to ban an AP top laner, just ban his Vlad.
Yeah, I don't understand the Vlad Mordekaiser ban. Ornn is still open. Will we see another? Because the one team didn't win with him, and obviously that's enough of a sample size to say he's bad. Quad era demonstrandum.
You're Latin. It finally came in.
Hey, I took it for 5 years in school.
I know, you've told me. Set also being removed, and there's the Vladimir ban. Hero, you've got to have another champion. Has he just turned to his team saying, "Can I dodge?"
5-cent question for you. What is the correct pick here?
The correct pick? Ornn.
Hey! We got a winner!
Yay! 5 cents! Nope, Syndra, apparently. I wanted to bind it Aphelios, but they have gone for Syndra, which is so Flash could just win the draft right here.
Yeah. The strongest possible
Aphelios.
I want to.
Oh, there it is. Hang on, let's get
Not quite there yet.
Way! Part 1! Way! They did it!
I don't understand Flash. How? Why did they do that last game? Aphelios last game? It's so weird. I think he just lost his preparation sheet. So he had to plug out all the computers to search for game 3. So his team doesn't draft another ridiculously bad comp, and he succeeded. So shout out to Surge.
I like the pick away here of the Thresh.
Yep.
I think whenever you see an Aphelios picked, you should try and take the Thresh away. I don't necessarily think Xayah was necessarily...
They've got a good game.
Had to be picked there. I suppose you don't want it getting banned out. They could go for the ADC pinch. But they'll round this out. Wouldn't be surprised to see a support. I don't think you want to get pinched. Wouldn't mind Braum, maybe. Braum Aphelios is strong. Or Leona, okay.
Also, one thing of note, no Senna priority whatsoever. We've seen Tahm Kench being banned, and that kind of deters the Senna pick as well, right?
Yeah, he's opened this game.
Quite surprising that we don't see any Senna priority. Could have been the first pick for EVOS. Yesterday, someone, I think it was Finn even, again, on LEC said Senna is more OP than Ornn. So, wow, indeed.
That's probably on 10-4 though. Where Ornn has...
Ornn got better on 10-4. Ornn is even more broken on 10-4.
That's fair. Rek'Sai being removed by Flash. Looks like they might go the jungle pinch route, as they do obviously have prio pick. Mine ends up being a lot of jungle bans into a pick for themselves.
And last game, I said I wanted to jungler or something. So now I'm more confident in Son's ability to play different champs. I would like to see the Trundle ban, honestly, already on. I picked for Flash, so you don't
And
want
Leona.
to have the Trundle steal all. Yeah, Leona as well. But if there's an on, it's probably Leona is probably getting by fine. So yeah, Trundle would be an intelligent adjustment. Let's see.
And
Okay, instead it's okay. So sadly, Flash
Why are we here,
did
dude?
something naughty and lost the ban. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
Why are we here? What's the point?
Crocodile ban. Crocodile ban is well.
It's not even. Yeah. Why couldn't they have a crocodile ban when it was me and Vinny? So at least I could make a Steve Irwin joke because it was the Aussie takeover. Come on. And Orianna being removed. No real pinches on pools here.
So trying to be a little bit objective here, of course. I absolutely. But looking at EVO's team composition, Renekton makes a little bit of sense. You can go for full early mid-game power spikes on 2 and 1.5, 2 items and try to roll over Team Flash. So there is a win condition somewhere there.
Guess.
There is a reason to pick Renekton. It's not a great reason, and you shouldn't ever do that, but I can see why they did it. I don't agree, but yeah, that's where I land, I guess.
And I mean, if they're going to go for this Elise potentially, is of course Nidalee locked in. Very much the VCS.
Yeah, Legion special this season. And okay, please, we can go back to the last draft again. Why exactly didn't they pick?
I don't know why they didn't pick her last time. Damn good so question.
Is that the same team? Is it the same coach on stage?
Maybe during the break, someone popped out, bit of chloroform over the mouth of Serg. Then okay.
That's the reason we had so many computer problems. The Buck is here.
Yulwei, do you know if there's a bootleg cast for like the South American leagues? I reckon we can just start doing that instead. This doesn't make any sense.
I would need to change the channel system though. The channel point system symbol, of course.
Oh my god!
Coming in. Oh man, we're really drowning in that bad drafts right now. What is going on? Syndra, Kha'Zix, Aatrox topside against On, Nidalee, Jace. Yeah, not sure what to say about that. I guess I favor Flash because they have On. One good champion.
I don't. I think Aatrox.
Because there's a Jace.
Syndra will be fine. These drafts are so bad. Jace is so bad.
Hey, he got buffed. He got buffed in 10-3, so or 10-2 even. Yeah, I think 10-2 even. He's not great. Yeah, especially not Syndra. As far as I know, that's not a great lane matchup for Jace.
Probably not.
He has a little bit of push early on, of course, with auto attacks, but
I mean, yeah,
it's very easy to play around.
I think I do favor Flash just because you can get your permanent marker out 3 of the champions. Oh, Leona's fine, she can stay. But you can just like cover over the jungle and the mid lane and it's just Unofficial, yes.
Yeah, indeed.
Pretty good.
We talked about red 1.
Why is this Kha'Zix coming? He can't kill anyone. Who does Kha'Zix
wanted to see different champs from. It's my fault. Kha'Zix. Why Kha'Zix? Kha'Zix is so useless. I hate this champ so much in competitive. Well, we've seen Kuroko play Kha'Zix, and that didn't yield any success. And now in the hands of a better jungler, maybe.
I actually think it's even worse than just being a Kha'Zix pick. One of the things that makes Jace into Syndra not that good is because in solo queue, Jace is great into Syndra. Because you can just constantly threaten to murder her. You can't really do that in pro play because there'll just be a jungler hovering around and you'll try to all in her and then die. But it's a Kha'Zix. Are you scared of a Kha'Zix? I'm not.
Not really.
So
Also,
yeah.
Kha'Zix. I mean, Kha'Zix can probably kill Nidalee if he ever gets alone time with her, but
Will he? It also, he can't 100 to 0 her, like at the back of a fight, because she'll just heal.
She can also jump away. Yeah, that too.
She'll just like throw a heal on herself. And yeah, if they tried to go for the brawl, the Kha'Zix would win in the end. But in a fight, who is Thorn assassinating? Belios isn't going to die.
It's also...
Jace is just going to knock him away. Ornn is Ornn.
Jace can knock him away. And Nidalee can heal. Ornn can do a lot of stuff to him. And then it is also Leona. If team fight, Leona will sit on the top of Slater and just press Q.
Yeah. Or Slater will have Severum. And kill him. Like, it's just...
Or Gravitum to stun him. I really don't see this Kha'Zix succeeding. So that's, of course, when Kha'Zix will pop off and win the game.
Yeah, exactly. If we're
that's usually what happens in VCS.
It's true. But yeah, I definitely favor Flash's draft. I don't understand the Jace. I think Jace is very, very bad.
Today's card is 80 day. You have to... Yeah. You have to respect him.
Can he not play AP champions? Like, what's going on?
He read a lot about fasting Senna, so now he thought, okay, I'm going to play fasting Kati, champion pool, fasting in terms of champion pool, only 80 turns.
Yeah, I'm allowed to farm. I still have food, but I'm not allowed any water, so no AP. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It is very odd.
Especially because he has not played any AD champion.
No.
Let me check my my prepared stat sheet. He's played Aurelia before. So 180 champ on the list in 18 games.
I mean, he's definitely proven that he can play them now, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He had a good Lucian game, but I'm not sure why he's going to 80 champs. What is your favorite? Have you actually played? Oh, never mind.
Cardi flashing away immediately.
Oh, good flash.
Not a bad first gank there by Thorn. Gets the summoner spell. What were you saying?
So have you got some?
Actually, he's around. No, I'm kidding.
I haven't. Oh, bot lane fight.
Nope, not in the end. Everyone's just backing off, keeping us on tenterhooks.
And now top lane fight.
Oh, top lane fight. I really want to know what you were trying to ask. But they're not giving us the chance. Thorn now.
Nope.
Dodges the spear. No, I think we finally have a break in the fight.
Everyone is also bored, of course. They've been sitting on stage for more than 3 hours now. Understandable. They want a little bit of action.
Makes sense.
Of course, poor Yoshino has to play on another time.
Well, it's pretty
on laning phase sucks.
Yeah. No. I don't know.
Nah, it depends on matchup. Sometimes it's very fun when you can out-trade, and when you lose all the trades, on is not fun.
Very true.
You know you will win the game, but it's
Ooh, speaking of which, though, Yoshino trying to go for the play here. TH very, very low. If he gets another grass proc, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh, the double flash! And Yoshino should be able to maybe find him with a charge into a Q, but no, never mind. Both of them get away.
Okay. He's getting up to... why did he chuck his potion when he wants to put away? Interesting. That double flash was...
But you still haven't... What were you saying before?
What is your favorite gun combination on Aphelios?
Red-white.
Red-white?
Yeah, it's gross.
In lane? What do we say in lane? In lane, it's...
probably
green, red.
I like flamethrower in lane.
Flamethrower in lane is strong, to push out the lane. So probably.
Never mind. As we do have a bit of a gank up here. Hero in a lot of trouble. Yijin coming in. And can he land the spear? He hasn't thrown it yet. There's the flash. There's the pounce. Can they finish him off? And they can. The spear confirms the kill.
Ugly.
Super ugly kill, but the result is meh. That's all that matters.
Yijin. I want to see the replay there. Hope I'm correct. I think there was a block from Yoshino. That's why Yijin couldn't get another auto attack. The model from Ornn was too fat, so he couldn't attack. But in the end, he still lands the spear. And of course, there was no flash available from the earlier fights. First blood. Also, Yijin hit level 5 of that wave before the top laners hit level 5. So very far ahead in the jungle.
Yep. As once again, the Vietnamese jungler, the only region in the world that cares about Nidalee. Except maybe
It's allowed to
OPL.
play in Italy.
OPL did
Yeah.
play her a bit ago, but she truly is the jungle
The
champion.
only real region. Okay. Yeah.
Hey. Hey.
It's great because
We're
I know
more
you
real
want
than
to say something.
PCS.
So look at this again. So now keep your eyes on Yijin. So now he's jumping in here. Now gets blocked by Yoshino's model. That is so weird.
Yeah.
He still got the spear, of course. Yeah. Yoshino's model kind of blocked him to the left side. He wanted to stay on the right side of the lane, but he couldn't. So yeah, it's super strange.
Yeah, it was not a very well executed gank, but in the end, they walked away with a kill, didn't really expend too much more than they really needed to, and neither of them died, so sounds good to me. It looks like they want to actually make a repeat gank. They've
Very
got the
easy
Ornn
repeat
ult.
gank.
There's no Aatrox ult here. This should be a pretty free kill. He's only level 5. Ooh, no knockup with the Ornn horn being used anyway. It should be a free kill regardless of the start. Easy peasy. Aatrox squeezy. And he's gone.
Yeah, that was very easy, even though everything Yoshino was for.
Hey, he hit the ult.
Yeah, he hit the ult. Great, against the flashless target.
It's all he had to do.
That's true. I wanted to see the big on combo. Do you know the on? Do you know how to do it?
I've never tried doing it because I don't really play Ornn, but I know it. I can say it.
Yeah.
You potentially
Q,
have
W, ignite, E, ult.
Yeah.
Ult before E, then ult, then W again, Q again.
I've never. Again, I probably can't play piano well enough to actually do it because I have horrible mechanics.
No, it doesn't really require that many.
You underestimate how bad I am.
Yeah.
But this is a very bad start.
I never play with
for
spellbooks, so I can't ever ignite, so I don't know. We have 2 kills for Yijin. That's the perfect position for Nidalee to be in. So now, even if he meets Sorn, man, Sorn in the jungle, he'll probably win. So Kha'Zix's purpose in the game is
questionable
still to be seen or to be found.
Even more questionable.
Yeah, he has a big life crisis here. It's early life crisis, not even in the midlife. He doesn't know what he's here for.
He's running in, going like, oh, wait,
Why?
Where am I? Why can't we still have the old law so you can imagine he's been sitting at a bar for the last 8 months waiting for someone to pick him? It's just sad because none of the summoners want him. But
it's probably the only reason to pick Kha'Zix. Sadly, we've seen too much Kha'Zix in the VCS, so that is not.
But Kati will be getting the blue buff.
Of course.
Oh no! Oh no! The burn.
The caster curse. The caster curse is real. Unfortunate.
That's so unfortunate.
Is full control everywhere on the map for Flash, and of course also the
dragon secured. Want to try and make anything? Nope. Back off.
Absolutely fair that turret is able to slow.
Ooh, Yoshino going for the trade here against Hero. The wings come out.
What is going on?
This is an interesting one. Hero just healing back up.
Yeah. So I should drop a little bit too low to continue fighting. Of course, on early itemization is.
Ooh, Yijin's here. There's the Ornn horn being blown. Hits the first part. This is an easy kill. The knock up on the other side of the wall. And the kitty goes meow. And she's now got 3 kills.
So, Kitty is on a very special diet. What is Aatrox? Aatrox is something like...
Darken. I don't know what...
Devilish, darken thingy.
Yeah.
A Daedra. He's like a Daedra from Elder Scrolls.
Skyrim, yeah.
So, yeah. He's the kitty is on a Daedra diet, which I guess
maybe it's like the equivalent of like spicy tuna catfish.
Maybe
cat
seems
food,
very delicious.
Even, spicy tuna.
He's eating a lot of that Daedra.
My cat loves that kind of stuff, so Nidalee's probably pretty happy.
He does too.
My cat kills possums though. Really bad. I really wish they wouldn't.
Didn't know you have a cat. You have a cat and
Not in my flat.
a
No.
bird?
It's my cat, but they live with my parents.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
I wouldn't have a
Would
cat.
be scared for a cat if you had a cat
Yeah,
in
no.
there
I
as
wouldn't
well.
have. I wouldn't have a cat and a bird. That's very irresponsible.
I love this early build for Yijin as well. Look at him. He just wants to go straight for Lich Bane, more mid-game damage, just eat more Daedras. Or the same Daedra again, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter in the end if it's different on the same one. You're just eating. It's about
Honestly,
weight.
he's playing the mecha skin, right? So it's not that easily digestible, but this seems to be a very, very strong cat.
Wait, that's not the mecha skin, is it? That's
Is it?
Is it?
Isn't it? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what skin that is. I don't play in Italy. But regardless of that, it seems like Parquet doesn't play League of Legends because he is going to be having a bit of a break for the next 30 seconds as Flash is in full control this game.
And look at that super strong mid lane champ, Jace, stomping his mid lane opponent.
I mean, he is ahead a little bit. I mean, look.
No, Sorn is here, level 7, but can he do anything?
He killed a minion.
Nice.
Woo.
And he denied the stack. Nice.
Very good. Oh, there's a hook, though. This actually could be a kill, but no, the Flash comes in. And Cardi doing a lot of damage.
As well.
Yeah.
Cardi's already very scary. And he's not even going for poke. He's going for full-on all-in build.
Which he should, to be fair.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
And this is first turret at 12 minutes.
This is a very, very one-sided game. I think this Jace pick is going to pay dividends because they're probably going to be ending this game right when Jace is at his most powerful.
So, you know how I talked about Flash as more transitioning into a...
Yeah, I know.
It seems like that is not the case. So a little bit of egg on my face once again.
At this point, we need to. You can't really say you've got a bit of egg on your face when you're wrong. You need to start saying you've got a bit of face on your egg when you get something right.
That's actually true.
Because the VCS likes to make your analysis wrong.
Yeah, it really does. Oh man, I absolutely love that pro. It's so fun. So yeah, 4K gold.
There's the Ornhorn. Can they get another bite? Nope. He swoops away. He looks so ridiculous.
What can EVS do to get back into the game?
Not this. DivKid gets caught out, and on the other side is Cardi. That's an easy kill. Can they follow it up with one onto B? Ooh, good flash. Bouncing him back. It didn't actually matter. CBL. Come on, man. Not the best E, but it didn't matter.
Cat was very hungry and wanted to eat more Daedra.
Yeah, didn't quite get it this time.
All 4 kills are, of course, on TH. So,
and this is going very
6K and 14 minutes.
This is Garm style.
Yeah,
I think Flash might have heard me saying, if they lose today, do we have a world where Flash doesn't make playoffs? Because this looks like a playoffs team.
More than that, I'd say. This looks like a finals team. I would argue. All 15 plates, by the way. They got 15 plates.
Yeah, that's disgusting. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Will we see the perfect game on the VCS? I doubt it, but let's see. They have on, so he can tank towers. Yeah, and there was the jungler trying to counter game with a lot of impact, of trying to show the world why he picked Kha'Zix. Sadly, we have to wait for the next opportunity.
I don't understand why they picked Kha'Zix.
It's so tilting.
I'm
sorry if I'm too salty.
There wasn't even like a super strong
anymore.
There wasn't even a super strong jungle pinch. Like there were junglers open.
Yep. Could have done Trundle again, by the way, into on. Worked last game. I'm not sure why you didn't do that this game. Instead, Kha'Zix.
Doesn't make
great. Yeah, looking at the items, there's a lot of items on the right side. Not a lot of items, in fact.
So it's ugly. It's ugly. There's only so many ways we can say it. He's got a hook. He's got a hook nose and he's missing some teeth. He's not a looker.
I think it's even a super perfect game, not a single plate going.
I didn't think a plate went down. Yeah, those towers are looking pretty healthy.
We're on track on perfect game, 15 plate game for Flash. That would be very impressive. So Let's go. Let's go. I want to see it.
I want to see, yeah, if they can hold those sticks of celery, that'd be very impressive.
Of course, this is now the most dangerous part of the game. 15 to 20 minutes. Where even if you're 5k gold ahead, you're only on 1.5. 2-3 champs can still overpower you, even just with base damage. So we need to be very careful not to get caught in the side lane.
And there's also, it's very hard to know what to do. Like, you're
Yeah,
super far
indeed.
ahead, but you can't take Baron because it
There's no
hasn't
Baron.
spawned. There's no dragon up. You can't really push inner towers. So you're just kind of standing there farming, but you're itching to do more. So sometimes mistakes are made.
So I have another very small nerf for On I would like to see. Have his own On items not upgrade themselves. So he has to invest 4 seconds out of combat to.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. It's a minor thing, but I'm very
minor,
tilted.
but-
Yeah, I think it's quite absurd that he can upgrade his items in combat
Yeah.
when he hits level 12.
It definitely-
Why is that a thing? That's
It definitely
not okay.
shouldn't be in combat. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters if you just change it to say out of combat.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's fair.
That would be okay. But I think there was a clip on Reddit where
Yeah,
there was
I
a
saw that
fight and
myself.
then he hit level 12, so his item instantly upgraded and it actually mattered.
Plus 1,000 HP.
Yeah, exactly.
So dumb.
He just went up 1,000 HP in the middle of a fight. Like, that's pretty stupid.
Oh,
It doesn't matter very often, but Ornn.
Yeah,
He's a strong boy.
It's just a small little thing, but you need to do something about him. It's hard to see where the right one to go.
I mean, I'm okay with tanks having a bit of time in the sun.
Yeah, tanks would be great, but only On is not okay. I would like to see more Maokai. But the problem is, whenever you play tanks, you notice why only On is a matter. Because tanks are not tanky enough. Only On is. And On is only tanky enough because there's 2 items on On is 4 items on any other tank. So.
Yeah, I think 10.4 other tanks are viable. Because of Immolate. I think Zack's viable.
Zack and Maokai, I think, definitely are viable, but they need time. He's level 12 and is sitting on 0.3k.
Yep.
No other tank gets close, not even remotely.
Pretty strong champion, as Shelly will come in for another charge. Can they follow up and actually get this inhib tower?
What is that?
Very
What is
easily.
the thing there?
And I don't know what the hell was that. And they are trying to get the inhib.
80 minute inhib.
Yeah, there we go. Infernum doesn't quite do enough.
Party, don't die,
Party, don't die, don't lose the perfect game. Don't make Thorn feel good about this pick. No. We said Jace was a terrible pick.
Yeah, he is. You can rest your case. You are correct.
I need to see a replay of what the hell popped up on the screen.
I have no idea. It has to be a particle for a skin or something.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to see if we can figure out which skin it was. I still think the best one was. Do you remember the Braum recall with the giant diamond under him for the Mafia Braum particle? There was a diamond that took up 3/4 of the screen.
The recall was W. It happened all
Oh,
the time.
you're right. Yeah, it was W. It was because it flashes up.
One of the skins is a diamond for the W.
Yeah, it's Mafia Braum. It's Mafia Braum.
Yeah.
Just this massive diamond on screen. Let's see if we can spot it.
Let's see. Oh, it has to be Kha'Zix backport. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Kha'Zix.
Yeah. Oh, it's the fireworks. It's the fireworks. It's Championship Kha'Zix.
Ah, okay.
We figured it out.
Let's all shame Cardi here. What did he do? Why did he die? Gets grabbed, I think.
Yeah. Oh no, he just goes really deep and gets exhausted and a lot of burst. Okay. Still his fault.
Yeah. Yoshino misses the opportunity to hit the Kha'Zix here. He had the turret, the remains of the turret, as something to knock him out. And he's also going for... I like this one. Yoshino with the best possible on build, which is a 3rd item, Knight's Vow, hopefully. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. You don't need any more tank items on, so you just circle, not circlet. Circlet is the upgrade. What is the normal thing? Locket of the Iron Crystallari and Knight's Vow.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't seen that. Then you're just
super tanky, give a lot of stats to your teammate, and are the second. You are a secondary support as well, so it's very, very strong.
Don't know how long that'll matter in this game, if I'm totally honest.
And of course, we have white weapon against Baron, so Baron will melt. All of the small little numbers. Oh,
He's
right,
got-
red.
Yep, he's got the... Well, we're going to have to come up for a name for that. Like, we'll have to think of something fun that's red and white. Party nearly dies again, but he manages to win it out. As EVOS is on the retreat against the boys in purple. The spear won't land.
You missed.
I can...
Yeah, we definitely take some... what is it called? Yeah, hit us up with your ideas.
Yeah.
So
if you've got an idea... If you've got an idea for the red-white gun combo for Aphelios, hit us up with your ideas for names for it, because it's OP. Completely busted.
Yep, it is. Especially against Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in teamfights is actually not the greatest.
Yeah.
I think Severum, Crescendum, and Calibrum is the strongest, right, for teamfights. Sometimes
the turrets are really good.
Yeah, Crescendum. You need Crescendum for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
I think it's actually pretty matchup dependent, because sometimes you really want Severum to, like, if someone's diving on you.
Yeah, that's true. I think from long range, Calibrum.
Yeah, Calibrum. Yeah.
And then Crescendum. What is Flamethrower called again?
Infernum.
Infernum, right?
With the Dusk Wave.
Crescendum Infernum is super strong for.
Yeah, that does so much damage in choke points.
Unapproachable. Yeah.
As Flash now does have all 3 inhibitors. Broken and Saw. See if they can push in to try and end this one. EVOS, you have to take your last
fight.
Red
side is super scary.
There is a huge Leona rolled into the big Ornn. CBL goes forward, takes a lot of damage. They haven't actually killed anyone yet. Hero has the wings out, trying to get something done. But I think the towers will just get chunked down. Yep. Ooh. CBL taking a lot of damage again. But the Nexus is exposed. This should be a very, very easy one to close out. There's a big Aphelios ult into the roots. Can they finish off? He's got the flamethrower. Shredding them, burning them out. Oh my word! So much damage. And Flash are your winners. They pick up a long-awaited win. One way to put it.
Flash on red side. Holy moly.
Nerf
they
Flash
are
on
dominant.
red. That was...
I mean, I still don't understand why you give up on Aphelios first.
It's not good.
As a blue team, that's not great.
But regardless, Flash has taken the win. We have to pick an MVP.
Why is EVOS a Japanese team? I'm confused.
I think
seems like it.
I think they're just doing it for some of their aesthetic. I think I saw some of the merchandise. They're kind of going for a bit of a Japanese aesthetic.
Oh,
but maybe they do have some ties to Japan that I don't know about. But we do have to pick an MVP for that game.
Has to be Yijin.
Yep, pretty obvious.
I love Italy. I would. Why, for God's sake, they didn't pick Italy in game 2?
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It was so free, and Yijin is so. I don't understand, but in the end, they still win 2-1. So easiest Flash prediction ever, because Flash always manages to lose a game, even if they're the way better team.
Don't rub it in, man. I picked 2-0. But we do have another series tonight, so we'll be back in a little bit to see Garm taking on Cerberus. I forgot for a moment.
Yeah,
that's actually
shouldn't be too long of a pause.
Shouldn't be too long. I'm not going to have to stop you doing too much analysis because we do need a bit of a break. This was a series riddled with tech issues. Ended up being over 3 hours, nearly 4 hours to get one series done. It is not what we want. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. The stream will turn off for a little bit, but it'll come back, don't worry. And we'll see you for Series 2. We hope you stick around. We love having you here. Thanks, guys. See you in a little bit.
Thank you.